And it's Friday morning, and we had to travel to my hometown and listen to good music. We are inviting God into our midst, and all we are saying is come into our homes. Come into our homes. Come into our homes. The troubles that bedevil us, the issues that encircle us, the problems day and night we face, challenges in our homes, sack them out for us. Sack them out for us. The satanic manipulations, sack them out for us. And so that was what the song was all about. It was just simply saying, stay with us in our homes and send our troubles away. Send our problems away. Every manipulation in our homes, send them away. Satanic movements, send them away. I'm hoping that will be your portion this morning as you join us live on the Happy Morning Show now until 9. Between now and that time, we will give you some motivational message. ACP retired Victor Tando will bring us the road safety tidbits. Headlines of the newspapers will be brought to you. So would we have some social media tidbits as well? Sports updates will be giving you. And then we'll dive into the main conversation. There will be some tidbits on techpreneurship as well. And all of these would be captured within the 3.5 hours that we would be here. The show is very interactive. And so we encourage you always to join us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and the rest. Just look for us with the handle Happy989FM or ETV Ghana, and you can follow the conversation. Your thoughts, views, birthday dedications, comments on issues of national interest are always very much welcome. So send them to us on our Facebook wall and we would read them. Our WhatsApp line is 020-2222-067. And so do stay with us. The show is live on Nisim 95.9 and 100.1. And I'm so, Akwaba. Na mene won che onyankopon asem kakra ansa na ye ne ACP retired Victor Tando edi enkoma no pay na me ka so jumedi etwagu e wo Nisim 95.9 sanso so e na etwagu anopay 100.1 and it says, and the God of all grace who called you by his name, who called you to his eternal glory in Christ after you have suffered a little while, will himself restore you and make you strong, firm, and steadfast. And that's from the book of 1 Peter 5:10. And so, the week would have been a rough one for you. The week might have been a crazy one for you. The week might have been a very stormy one for you. The week might have been that of issues and problems and challenges here and there. But this morning I bring you good news. This morning I bring you assurance. This morning I bring you confidence in the Lord. The Bible says that he will restore you. And so no matter your suffering throughout the month, maybe, throughout the week, maybe, God says he will restore you. Patiently bid your time. Patiently wait on him. Go on your knees, pray, and seek his face. He will come through for you. And send your week way, and you could be an Ebiana BC Basakakra or contract be when you did what Chesia, what ministries are, and fat. What you may be a warrior, Nanka Oshas and Kavadi stand there, Nanka Bank and Etioka, Ulom be a wood chasey, and Kodana sword deno, our semnum, a Jumamoon sen semnum, Nancy Suninano, and to me and Todi and ne if your day, when Yanko Possiman can't say, Bibia Ebedi. He will restore every and anything in your life. Just be confident and be rest assured that if you have spoken these words, certainly will be at your mouth. Etinya abutre na hwe Nyankopon nim mo amofwe sisika bi be fi bia abamo ncheno mo nkoso ana mo nya otwe honhom no nyame ebeye. Ye ne esi finding command pay. And you welcome back. As I say, you did your road safety tidbits in April. ACP on pay away in China. 1 year didn't come. ACP on pay your more quabeja.
I made it boss.
Na improve kwa dia, eja.
Na mchadi mpatwe.
You, ana pay dia. You know the name.
So me do ase. Edwin for more happy momo. Na otimu dumedia modie, ne bosumi mu dumedia modie nyina no. Aso ni.
Nti on betwe to sa no mani nyina no.
Don ko ja enkotora nkam ho. Onko so enti na ni mu kiremo. Okoso enhihiramo. Eti for motive media no pay mamu nyina ache mamachi ahenwa. Edmo be say media kesi so e Happy FM 98.9. And pay any idea boss Sami Sean and a tea edremo. All my bonnet to domini be just 90. Justice Nati Isaac Adey, Sefa Dankwa, Raymond Nyamado, the Rafatisha Ibuali, Pastor Thomas, the director Kwame Tamte. I'm just afraid I'm on it in years. And then, before Nobusumida, a tosso, a duno, enum. Bema, someone pedu bodu. The Tafro Abrewa, and then a order. Yame and Cosson Town. On Shishlow, not on Showman. I was afraid I'm on it in ye. Yes, on the pedu now to be in the echo, so quite the conse, a bus of a baby, a shed for a water quality station in another, and a cake or Kanashi, a mom in a channel pay. CMB, Coco Davers, Pichacha Munara. To do, driver for more Mukafla, one money, Mia, the Mamuna, and opinion may come home. 37 drivers, Michiamo, Bushapo, Yamishamo. Badina, and Denta, GPS unit pro to our drivers, the cooperative Unada, Mamuna, Yamishamo. More for the dancer, one Unia, Baby Mobia, Mamosachi. Takra the GPS unit pro to our church, Munara. Samanka GPS pro to our cooperative, also Mamachi, somewhere Montumbo. And some station, the Ben Goy filling station, GPS unit pro to a cooperative driver for when you are Mamunachi, and Mishamo. Go the tom phone, someone a quampo for a conduct danushina, and tell these are only and tell Biba. Mamunachi, I am Monshamui, as a mother. Therefore, they are not so near the Edu now, Pierre, Busumi, Shumposa, Yamumpona, Edru Yay, although for near the year to or near the year. Now, and send be a coso. Now, no, send be a metiano. And Pine I made bonus say, and yes, sir. There's a question idea, a bay assessment pa. Say a school for be just a kind of way in terms of the bus, be bus and said, Namudense is a kind of pie, you said, driver no. Espin Pia Woko said, then you. That way, Kai Muni Nanina, a Munimuni, any pa. A prepare woman say Dawson. On those minimum say between Guadano near Domusuko at near Coswing and other. Tembiana can say a yes school bus and co and a some passenger car and co. The school bus and a chance and another question private. Ain't it school for you to make a car or car? Bassa, as a Philippa, a no. But here I feel nipa be eduasa ani echire a pack one to say BBC pe lukwe ni oji ho abe den so betimi age ho edin enti ebe domusko na na ebe tinu obo no e de aba mo me yen share so afi we de enye ekwan so de nanso ye nyina no etie senka ebo bia ebe boa yen eye ejumakuru bia esi e from Royal Gardens Network. Royal Gardens Network. About Ikaho. I say Hubitel, money lending, Bibisa, Ekaho. Segment with me, I say Ufiska, not the phone online. Money, Momoiso. I the mount now the Kotor, or she can be a bit when you beso. Segment with Yoko for Edomania to form Afifim, Ako Bank of Ghana, and register one. Obako register General Department, and register one. You inform the ancient Pierre Moa, and Mom Quanso Munis Edgemano. And Yoko for the Abetuja. Their tuja. So what would do Hobako shed, sir, to Medina Mono? OJJ. Omba port is saying you'll be both if you, port is saying you'll be both. Chance me yati bebre and to the Yoko for that woman. Omri abetuja. And to Mr. Omay Yinano. Yankee say, you be 200 more. Yet, with free side Medino. How the Chicago then if you bonny a tour. And first you and Mobiala. And then that for one casa. Woman. Yes, Empa. Therefore now, Timo. And then she be nearby. The type principles and most simple. Ekobama. Nearby ASP get rid Asamoah. Nano. Bemegu abatam no eden kron ene ombeyi no edna tumpam na ya mebua ochena edna ko basra so de presby aso de ewo awushi ho ene be kwako na ofusom ni bia credit na kosie mpeni fo trase omanom huskansa nti ewa pa ode no penin bo atiapia o se retire for momienko ninko jam yenu abai na oye Accra Regional Secretary Nepono Secretary Accra Region. I was showing my noble one in Brown. And so all can say, oh, the essay, a man saying I come to the fancy. And the year nearby, no chief superintendent, or Ampia. Ampia can no share transport to show police headquarters and comfort after the body. And the body being in until so your friend body. On so and they also be that to pay not nako. Sorry, ewo kaswa. Na omiye na so via pejano. Ya ko nchi ejuma kufamu ho. Oni kwa kopile bidi na koto. Na empeni for transit and tell o kaswa ho no mo. Enti yemi ya ampia o yire o ma ne busuafo nyinara. Ya mo nyina hyedu no, ya mo nyina hyedu. Everybody I mean count of August. So for now, okay, me if you normal kakra kwan so. Ma 7 ho no mudie ye kan ho sempa. The queen will be over first abia no. Obo hu say ye kan yes ye tutu enkofa. Papa. This year in so frase. In so frase say topa ne ho no. Hofa be enti assembly for say omuntu ya ye ti amomo mo amane highway authority and so ba road so mo na mo dia omukohwe no mo yere mo djuma no omhwe no mbetumi and some is should be fresh ato the honde no kreni hadrin papa edu na otwe mesre bebre bia ebeko bia ni me bia ebeko akodie no loro kwan so eto bia asumi ni kwan so enti enam so a mo me ni na ho yenya fiye yenya butre yenya ntubwase obi enya ne fam de no nya so obi enya ne fam de no nya mo abirishim ke kwai be kwasum dwem ne baso a etimi aba asumdwem mesre so dum fo de nke ho apietiefo ofie nsie onye ni ne ye bibi e de be ko han boni musuo bi mu de gya ne penguman de na tum ene ne pa edwada e be san ehia.
Maybe don't say for your rule safety tidbit out the very chibedi no so I say eja infri ahomane so Fati person the message be Emmanuel eja but we for ahomane so
migira so mpacho
eja Fati any Raymond say enka weekend dey enka mo pe o mo weekend bro nya dey
oh hallelujah Fati again ha
ti
wo ha musu ho Mate, enye nyamede.
Enye nyamede ye no kre, enye nyamede kra.
Basically, we so we question him by.
Esi be bacha de pay. You better ask but we money there me am short in at amount but issue.
Remember you can say Ukraine you can say.
May God bless you boss. May
God bless you too, sir. Then toss in the headlines on the news person in Bre Adofo. And welcome back. As I say, the headlines of the newspapers no Ebre Adofo Anopay. Twaswa na mema Raymond Akwaba, mema Fati so Akwaba eba jumedi so Fati Akwaba.
Nyacho.
Yes, you are a hypocrite. You are a hypocrite. You are a hypocrite.
And then me newspaper headlines no. Mbese ye boja so nkomo.
Jason Como. And is a mentiase.
Because it's an old fish, I just want to try and say mirror.
Oh, Nasa, and then you know, so send an army teach you. Send an army teach you. Okoto fish, I first say cassava fish, and the KCBC. No, 1, 2, 3. Oh, expect to say obey in Hallow.
Eh, it's the end to try to say,
Kitting, 30 pieces.
Fish back with 30 pieces. And then
No, ochina amachi brand nko tamahabo.
Dia, I just say yen sir. Dia omuton ukoto wacha omude ma 5 cedis no.
Yeah.
E just omutwem 3.
Oh, Debbie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So mutwem 15 Ghana.
Uh-huh.
Na auto watching no fa.
Bugatti.
Na wele kwa boy isi a wele saying.
Uh-huh.
Wele 3 Ghana, 5 Ghana.
Yes.
Now akoto fish saying 3 Ghana.
5 Ghana.
Debbie.
No,
so we try we no utwem 1 2 3 ah. Ba ku bia 15 Ghana.
Eh. Anya wo to we. Be sabe baby auto watch yen to fish 15 cedis wo.
I'm telling you.
Bele.
Look.
Oh,
look. What do you hear? Oh, my number. See, I'm afraid the man just say about me back. It's a Jeffrey.
We'll finish what was started on Facebook.
We'll finish it here. But even that aside, apart from watching Kwampuno, so from 1 2 3 Kenke base, who could do one 15 Ghana.
Oh, sir.
I'm telling you.
Base, man.
Because the other Kenke base, now me sure so much 2.
Yeah.
No, 20 Ghana there.
Oh, my dear.
Sammy,
I'm catch on. I was so.
Sammy, Fatty didn't job. I'm so many and a baba.
Yeah.
Also, born a contract, Abbas.
You know, Ghana Kasana.
I got Kasana.
On the matter of Sammy Asian versus
the people
Facebook followers. In respect of Apia Stadium versus Usofo. We are submission team on Facebook. But baby back open a broom address. I say I didn't complete. See, my 3 issues were at the back of my mind. As at the time I would throw the outro.
Yes.
Also back here, ethics of the profession.
Yes.
And back here, your values.
Yes.
Now, who explaining ethics of the job, profession.
Yeah.
Who explaining values. Third one, one famba.
Third one, no. So be kaya. That be really fear. Obi be commenti bisa about the third one. I'm catching it. That is meant for the attackers.
The original post.
Yes, in the original post I mentioned that.
No, I
think Padmo.
Co-updating record.
Padmo who is on Epahwada Bay all the time. So about reviews, I said, where is the third one? And I say, it is for the attackers.
But nobody attacked you.
They go mobile. With the third one.
And they are attacking me.
Yes. And I'm attacking very
respond. Nobody attacked you.
Oh no. No, I didn't say they'll be attacking.
No, you sought to say.
No, I didn't say that anybody attacked.
They came to taunt you. They came to abuse you.
Yes.
You see, there was no abusing. Expression of views per your followers. And I take strong.
So if I found you
are accusing them of abusing.
If I found the statement of Apia Stadium condemnable.
Yes.
And I
that wrote, is your opinion.
And I wrote. Yes, it's my opinion.
It's your opinion.
Yes. And
people
I wrote.
Can disagree.
And people can disagree with me.
So why do you take offense?
No, I can also make a submission on their disagreement.
No. Yes, of course.
Yes.
But you see, when you accuse them of, taunting you and abusing you, I clearly disagree with that.
Well, that is your submission.
No.
That is your submission, and it's allowed.
No.
It's allowed.
No.
It's allowed.
No, I disagree with you.
Yes, but mon country almost say, sa attitude na bibia na hailing. Ade na nkoye kwampa na mo hailing no. It must stop.
Say ebi mo hailing, ebi mo hailing.
Debbie. You can't hail what happened.
Oh, Debbie. Sammy.
You can't hail what happened.
Sammy, why not?
What happened? What Apia Stadium went to do?
There are people who felt, hey.
Are you in support of what Apia Stadium went to do?
No comment.
Yes, na easier. Bibia politics in Tinemasum he enka and Albefa Nani Methodist Bishop Akokasa Sano Akachi and say, you hypocrite. No Kawaka is make him.
What we need to talk about is how intolerant people can be. What's my say?
Across board.
I don't see why Apia Stadium acquire their way and somebody feels to say the oye in try na nipa no aba voice so the oye in my opinion in try no be finds offense. What's my say?
Well, there's nothing wrong with it.
No, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is for people to be on your
would
case.
Would you do what Apia Stadium did?
What I'm saying is for people to be on your case for expressing your opinion about what happened. Yes. I find it disturbing. What am I saying? those people can also go and express their opinion as to why they think what he did was right, and not to attack somebody who thinks what he did was wrong. What did the American say? That's just it. That's just it. There be mentioned a lineup, no.
Okay. Yan shas here. Message.
Montage.
Message.
Okay, so tell you do back to present.
The Chronicle and OPC, Matthew chapter 5 verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God.
Make peace. Samuel, make peace.
Putin
must make peace. Not in this case.
Chronicle and OPC, Akufo-Addo dreads Russia-Ukraine war on fuel prices and safety of Ghanaians. We have a picture of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, flanked by President Vladimir Putin and President Volodymyr Zelensky. Omo front page of the Chronicle and OPC.
Oh, it's a Volodymyr.
Volodymyr and Vladimir.
Maybe Russia they no lie.
Ghanaian students in Ukraine call on government for evacuation. Absentee MPs to know their fate today, Speaker declares. Most young ladies can't even prepare soup. Bono minister blames it on social media. Most young ladies can't even prepare soup. Bono minister blames it on social media.
What does he know how many people prepare food on social media for people to take lessons? So the person being on social media, and someone named the other with social media. Apart from that, why is it targeted at girls? Are girls supposed to know how to cook soup? Is it a girls thing? What?
No
I will attack you.
No comment.
No.
I don't want it. No attack.
Cooking is a basic life skill. What am I saying? I also be able to which is okay. If you don't know how to cook, you lack a basic life skill. It doesn't have anything to do with gender. Why is he or she targeting girls?
We are long term.
Apart from that, social media has nothing to do with this, because we say one way she talk with social media. So obi episode osia she talk no social media no ko share. It's because the person is on social media and the person can cook soup. Soup. Now, if the person can cook soup,
it's a just a fullback.
I don't know.
How do you
Michael Sechi, others remanded for trafficking firearms. When in our air stories and OP Chronicle at their bar,
Daily Guide. Adwoa Safo's fate in limbo. Bloody war breaks out. Putin attacks Ukraine by land, air, sea, cyber. Over 1,000 Ghanaians stranded. Oil price skyrockets. Atu Essien punched over 620 million Citibank of Ghana cash. Metro Mass coordinator jailed for blackmail. No, ewo honum. Saso and just a call away. How digital innovation is bridging the gap to SGBV response. Russia crosses the red line. No, ewo honum. Saso and Kenya's president endorses opposition leader. Burkina Faso junta seeks more than 2 years in power. Ewo honum. Saso and other stories. Aubenya ewo paper nemu say I regret campaigning for Adwoa Safo Efia Schwarzenegger. And Eka West African power pool comes alive. Minister re-echoes value addition to cocoa. Regional industrialization is key. Story comes with picture of Professor Douglas Boateng and MTN Foundation to celebrate COVID-19 heroes. A stories are offer Daily Guide.
Daily Graphic front page and pay Russia-Ukraine conflict. Safety evacuation of Ghanaians key. President Akufo-Addo and Kasa Assembly Raymond. I know sir already your antenna is up there. La Manche funeral slated for March 7th to 20th and no ewo electoral commissioners appointment must be competitive. Professor Adjumandua and Ekasa government pays 16.545 billion Ghana cedis to power producers, deputy ministers of energy, and other stories. Elections must be devoid of rancor and malice. Justin Kodia and Ekasa. Capital Bank collapse. You stole 200 million Ghana cedis. Prosecutor grills Atu ACN. And no Ghana, 6 others benefit from £7 million global surgery initiative. And no and Nigeria MPs want ministers appointed promptly. We air stories at Daily Graphic at the Abrain Anope.
Ghanaian Times Anope say President laments Russia-Ukraine conflict, expresses concern about safety, evacuations, and oil prices. IOCO warns public about 2 Ponzi schemes operating online. Soldiers set house, excavators, others ablaze in attempt to fight Galamsey. Government committed to reducing housing deficit. Works and Housing Minister and Odessa Assembly about we the stories are on front page of the Ghanaian Times.
The new weekend crusading guide: Russia-Ukraine invasion, safety of Ghanaians, evacuations and oil prices stop Akufo-Addo's headache. Assault at Tema Passport Office. Immigration officer put their hands in my brazier and mercilessly kicked and hit me until I fell. Mariam Suleiman narrate. Remove all structures on Sakumono Ramsey site. Nungwa traditional rulers appeal to government. BDAC Foundation family donates dialysis machine to Eastern Region Hospital. DNI Foundation adjudged Physical and Mental Disability Organization of the Year. BBC Ukraine editor, there is no safe place anymore. And no account omo ediaba. Saso and Kenya president endorses opposition leader. I have 3 kids and failed marriage. Jim Ike and Ekasa same way. Koda to roll out clean beach campaign in coastal zones. Basic schools in Winneba receive support from a Futu Association in Southern California. Ni Osabu Akwe Ofoli T-Boy the first Anet. GTP workers demonstrate to demand dismissal of MD. OCP Ghana signs MOU with New Wage Agric Solutions to ensure fertilizer availability. We nina air stories are the new weekend crusading guide.
BDAC Foundation family supports Eastern Regional Hospital with dialysis machines. World leaders jittery as Russia invades Ukraine. Housing deficit down by 33%. Akufo-Addo worried about safety, evacuations, oil prices. Nina air stories are unpaid. Share a front page of the Daily Statesman. The final newspaper and then the final paper. Unpaid say oil soars to $105 after Russia attacks Ukraine. Ghanaians to pay more for fuel prices. Russia-Ukraine conflict. Akufo-Addo concerned about safety, evacuations, and oil prices. Boadu Awuku Nanabi work hard for NPP. Kennedy Japan. And Jinapo not satisfied with $4 million Chamber of Mines donated to Apiate Fund. And no air story and also BDAC Foundation family donate 400,000 Ghana cedis dialysis machines to Eastern Regional Hospital. To air stories and pay a war the finder a name.
The Inquisitor Anope say after going haywire, Ken eats humble pie. I know the big story our front page of the Inquisitor. Jume's attack on John Boadu, useless, irresponsible, and infantile. We end the story back where Obehu picture of Maxwell Kofi Juma. Government running from IMF because of accountability. Nimoy Thompson and Odessa Semuyaba and our energy minister stresses Ghana's commitment to achieve zero carbon by 2050. We the stories and pay Inquisitor Ediaba.
The custodian, Russia-Ukraine war will affect Ghana's economy. Afenyo marking and oil hit $104 per barrel, highest in 8 years. Deputy Speaker's voting rights. Supreme Court rules on March 9. BDC Foundation family donates dialysis machines to Eastern Regional Hospital. Sack Adjuasafo Mpieni to Akufo-Addo. Way the custodian newspaper Republic Press. The stories are ebaye ene. GTP workers abandon work, play football to demand MD's removal. Government urged to introduce policies to cushion Ghanaians as fares go up on February 26. Abubloshi land to be redeveloped into ultra-modern children's hospital. Adwoa Safo's woes deepen as Bagbin denies granting her permission. MPP is at a crossroad. Osayeje thinks aloud as he calls for diplomacy in dealing with party issues. Government reaches out to Ghanaians in Ukraine. Ewa Republic Press, the Business and Financial Times, Twaso, and final paper. Public sector challenges in managing and promoting PPP project. Your feature paper nemu. Banks still lack expertise in agri financing. New pensions investment directive requires low interest rate to work. Economists beat Eka. Ghana losing out on $130 billion chocolate market. Oil prices soar past $100 as Russia invades Ukraine. We air stories are the Business and Financial Times. Ediaba.
The final paper on the Informer on extortion and blackmail. Court strikes sends strong signal to media by jailing Metro Mass worker for 10 years. What special qualification do you have? What special qualification do you have? Impieni fires Adwoa Safo. Ghana's energy transition, renewable energy key. Minister Matthew Opoku Prempeh and this assembly about rising inflation, external factors responsible. Vice President Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and this assembly about and a use fit for purpose vehicles. IGP urges banks. We need stories and pay Informer and the other.
It's www.happyghana.com. Name for stories, Navy, Embre, or Mamfo, and pay stories on any Russia-Ukraine tension. E-levy critical for evacuation of Ghanaian students. Afenyo Makin and Ekasasenom. I never granted Adwoa Safo permission to absent herself from Parliament. Speaker Babin Ena Ekasa. Vodafone to extend its e-learning platform to over 100,000 students this year. Video, Russia-Ukraine tension. We keep pushing, but no one hears us. Ghanaian students cry. Videos show Russian attack helicopters swarm over Ukraine as war escalates. And Russia-Ukraine tension. Farouk Al-Wahab explains why no army in the world can defeat Putin's army. Business boom at Kiev gun shops as Ukrainians rush to buy arms. What's going on between Russia and Ukraine? Russia-Ukraine tension. Nukes calls for evacuation of Ghanaian students. When you know stories are pay your website Happy Ghana at the Abraham Amfo.
CityNewsroom.com. Say it's difficult to evacuate Ghanaians in Ukraine now. We are working towards their safety. Government. EOCO flags 2 online investment schemes over fraudulent activities. Government may not be able to pay salaries for the next 3 months. Bagbin cautions. Court dismisses former PPA boss application to set aside Shrad's findings. I never granted Adwoa Safo permission to be absent from Parliament. Alban Bagbin and this assembly aba na otaso ewo citynewsroom.com. Yakupiemu ewo Takwa, a family of taxi driver who died in cells sue police. UTAG votes to support suspension of strike. Nukes meets Ministry of Foreign Affairs over evacuation of students in Ukraine. Excessive use of herbal medicine to blame for rising cases of kidney disease. Ghana Health Service. Sana uniji herbal hono.
Herbal de me no. I trust herbal. I trust herbal.
Excessive use of herbal medication to blame for rising cases of kidney diseases. Ghana Health Service. Research.
No, what are they talking about?
They can't make such a blanket statement.
They are approved herbal medications.
Then FDA should answer to this. Because I don't quite get it.
44 reasons why this is true.
Right. And the 44 reasons for another issue. Very easy.
Army to probe fire incident at Echima in Punya during burning of excavators. And our final story, what has say, University of Ghana to commence lectures on February 28th following suspension of UTAG strike. Find places of shelter as we engage authorities, government to Ghanaians in Ukraine. Find places of shelter as we engage authorities, government to Ghanaians in Ukraine. We near Sema, Foreign Minister Shelley Ayokobuchi, or the Atuja, Sisia Ghana for Selma to me taking note of Ukraine.
Google News. Russia, Ukraine. Ghanaian students in Ukraine advised to seek shelter. Ghana's law on publication of false news is vague and easily abused. China-Africa cooperation in infrastructure to boost intra-regional trade. Experts be Ena Eka. Is free speech a crime in President Akufo-Addo's Ghana? And no air questioner or Mobisa. IOM unhappy with escalation of military action in Ukraine. Conference of Chief Imams eulogizes late Sheikh Said. And no air honum. South Africa's budget speech welcomed by experts. Nigeria to step up fight against financial crime, corruption. Public SHSs receiving outstanding bursaries from government. We air stories are a war Google News.
Yemfa CNN.com stories embre omam for explosions rock Kiev and the pain blasts were heard in the capital city hours after a US official warned that Putin's forces were moving to encircle Kiev. And no war CNN and the pain other stories and so be in the Ukrainian capital hit with cruise or ballistic missiles. Ukrainian president says he's target number one for Russia. Putin lashes out. I hope that I have been heard. And no ewo honum. What does Putin want in Ukraine? And also so ewo honum CNN attempts to explain why this conflict is ongoing. Biden wages first showdown of new Cold War style duel with Russia. Jimmy Carter reacts to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Airlines scramble as Ukraine invasion withdraws route map. And soldiers defiant last words as Russia warship targets them. Ningina air stories are and CNN at the Abrain.
BBC.com and say Volodymyr Zelensky, we are defending Ukraine alone. And I'm a boy Muslim. Other stories I want to say. BBC Ukraine editor, there's no safe place anymore. Fighting rages near Ukraine's capital after invasion. Tough and emotional summit as EU leaders seek unity. We are shocked Russians react to invasion. Europe prepares for wave of Ukrainian refugees. Why has Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine? Russian forces seize Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Florida House passes Don't Say Gay bill. Don't Say Gay bill passed in Florida. Nina stories are BBC.com and Opera Betumi Akai.
Reuters News. US says Iranian muddy water cyber actors targeting various sectors worldwide. Cyclone Emnati hit Madagascar Islands, fourth major storm in a month. With cinemas closed, Ghana's hand-painted movie posters find homes abroad. Nigeria takes JP Morgan to court for $1.7 billion over oil deal. We Reuters News.
Yedi nkomoya na meka se onso betimi akọ ye website and pay na onso no wetimi akokan stories we nyina ebiem obetimi afollow ye e Facebook, Twitter, any Instagram na onso so no o commenter o bia no wetimi e de abrɛn and pay wa ba ye di nkomo no, and there's so much to discuss on social media wa bra, especially matters to Ukraine dominating conversation no one kasa or thoughts and saying when it comes to our evacuation of Ghanaians and students at one more Ukraine. Now, and pay from the Ghana Metro for Honum, one more as the sun and cloud will alternate during the day over southern Ghana. Localized rain is expected over few areas later in the afternoon. Northern Ghana remains dry with slightly hazy conditions, na ohwe breakdown na wo say Aflao, Accra, Kanswa, Cape Coast, Takoradi, Axim, Ho, Koforidua, Akimoda, Kumasi, Obuasi, Takwa, Sefi Bakwa, some areas we know, and I pray they would experience a misty weather with temperature around 25 degrees Celsius. Area, they would all experience very sunny moments with temperature rising to 35 degrees Celsius. And you may it will be partly cloudy for most of these areas, and some may experience few clouds with temperature around 29 degrees Celsius. So the northern Belta, Yendi, Tamale, Bole, Damango, Bolgatanga, Nalerigu, anywhere. It will be slightly hazy this morning with temperature around 26 degrees Celsius. Area, it will be dry and hazy with temperature around 40 degrees Celsius. And you may it will be slightly hazy with temperature around 33 degrees Celsius. Into any weather update from the Ghana Meteorological Agency for
COVID-19 update from Ghana Health Service and Twaso. Active cases 549, confirmed cases 159,124. New cases are 118, deaths are 1,442. Recoveries and discharge are 157,133. Your core EcoShare worldwide total figures are about 431 million plus 1.89 million. Deaths are 5.93 million plus 11,664. Same producer say LPM. Yes.
So now you trust with the na second image for see and country Ghana for set akwenya abeda ho no ma obetimi a kire enkoda no bibi kakra eba no se ne ombenya insano dwuma na insano dwuma no ebi ene sen ene obia eye facials ene obia eye makeup ene obia eye pedicure manicure obia hairdressing and fashion designing. And fashion designing fetches a lot of money today. People are sewing beautiful outfits. Sometimes you wonder, but Ninja actually says Sika was our industry anymore. And until Banner we GHS and I say SHS and I say import what we degree that you want to learn in San Juma and one any second image international skills college. ND and Komo. Na enrollment no koso wakra hanum se ofre 0243 331 999 Kumasi 0204403348 Denu 0244861610 so gakope 0240195951 obetimi ene womo edi insa so nyamepa weekend na ahyase ena ne sa plans no menim se obia afane de omo etukwan na etukwan omo kwachile no kwachile omo be spending omo weekend na ofie no they'll be spending it in the house. But February is just about ending. Our savings culture for the year okache who say obeshase na akosi saying, well, you may have started and are saving with your bank, but how much interest does it yield you? At the end of the day, say who save it with a banker, one more interest be a young fancy be a 1% to win so on man, canon aba, or check out so be the atom there be. Almost your interest component on your money, maybe 30,000 on my account, almost your amount 2.73% and no any interest at the amount. Minia, don't be doing that. Kornekungu EDC4, Nani EDC4 ending common. That 30,000, that 20,000, that 5,000, that 2,000, you have sitting in your bank account. Invest it with the EDC. One more at the Bayer, a Juma, Amana, Kessia, Eddie Amawa, Minia, say a compoundier. You'll be blown away how much you'd have saved at the end of the year, and when it multiplies, Abia, within 5 years, Wabu Musika or our account mo enti oni EDC4 ending come website www.ecobank/swam na oni omo ending come to complete na afei no wetin afro mo 0302 634 165 WhatsApp yomo 0595235065 to get started. With EDC, financial independence is possible. Fati, member honafe no
the trends no afi ebeba na yina yenim it's obvious they are trend pa ewo ekrom ha ene na MP afi nyomakin ena okoka say excuse me, the so Ukraine, no, especially with calls say Ghanaians, especially students, you know, yeah, evacuate your mono. Or say evacuation will come at a cost and will put more burden on an already scarce resources. And you know, say you bet me akọ evacuate pa there, you hear revenue. And I say we say you generate revenues. Being I coin back one, you bet me I generate our revenue, you know. A year through the e-levy. Inti or say if say evacuation na yemma e-levy no yem pass say ne ya ye passing and ne ya no naska na sa she eba na ye nye bi e de akoye de we say ye de eye na asema okaye no say wantie anasa we hu a yembo video no na wankata tie ye ba na abefa commenter amanfo e de eto wase.
I am concerned knowing that the value chain is going to be affected. Imports would cost, duties will cost. And if you look at what is happening to the cedi, now dollar is moving around a certain figure. Yes, this is about an international catastrophe which is affecting Mother Ghana. And the need for us to take away the politics and now have a new way of thinking to support our government. Because, Mr. Speaker, the call to evacuate Ghanaian citizens from Ukraine will come at a cost. No European country will evacuate our citizens for us. No Ghanaians, no European country. NATO will not do that. America will not do that. There is going to be pressure on the limited resources that we have. And as a nation, Ghanaian businesses who are supposed to do well to pay taxes, they are going to suffer. Their businesses will not do well the way they expect. Their projections will be affected. That is the reality. And I must bring this to the attention of all of us so that any policy that will be brought will be seen in that light. Of course, Honorable Minority Leader, you've not spoken into Deputy Minority Leader, you've not spoken into the mic. But if you're talking about e-levy, this is the more important reason why we even need it. You are saying you've not spoken into the mic. But if you are talking about the e-levy, that was the next point I was going to get to. That we should congregate around it and find a way of generating revenue as a country to save the situation, because we are not in normal times. Harun Idrisu couldn't have raised this matter at a better time than now. He couldn't have raised this issue at a better time than now. This is a patriotic call from him.
And you know, ode sa asemi etu jana sa video no ebeto abonte no commenter ebimo ekotro wase eni kojo say, whose monies were you using to hire the private jet for the president to gallivant around the world? Whose monies were you using to hire jets to fly MPs into the country to vote on e-levy? You guys think you can emotionally blackmail us into accepting the e-levy? Mabel said, some people will surely die if this e-levy is not passed. This e-levy is really going to solve most of Ghana's problems. I think it should rather be called e-Messiah. Idris will say, how does evacuation of students from Ukraine, what has evacuation of students from Ukraine got to do with e-levy? Students' lives are in danger. Let's be serious as a nation. Mary will say, how they managed to hire a private jet to bring Adjo Asafo to come and vote for the passage of the e-levy. They should use the same means to finance the evacuation of Ghanaian students. My fellow Ghanaians, please, let's shine our eyes. Oh, Kwame Wanda say, which attitude is with this e-levy? What has evacuation of students from Ukraine got to do with e-levy? An economy that Baumia and co touted to be robust even in the midst of the pandemic now needs e-levy to survive? Jatwa say, they shouldn't forget that his constituents are listening to him And he said, bear in mind that he will come back to them to vote for him. I'm sorry to disappoint him that if e-levy is approved, that is his last tenure in parliament. No commenter by and answer na mede next trend no ebet was no mama yenhwe.
I don't want peace. I want problems always. I don't want peace. I want problems always. I don't want peace. I want problems always.
Sir, and a man for Ukraine, Russian President Vladimir Putin. Sir, and Obia Kobonidi, and some of Kachira no, because ya can't somewhere shall say, and yen, ye catch an unja dio, you know, unja dio, you know, and I wash us here, or to topa ye, egugugu, Ukraine no. Now, hashtag stop the war, air trendy. Ukraine army air try so a mobile repair, full scale Russian invasion, no. With fierce battle taking place close to the capital, Kiev. Now, fighting is raging at an airfield on the outskirts of the city. It could become a springboard for Russian army into Kiev. Say troops, you know, it me The Russian assault is being fought on several fronts after it attacked from the east, north, and south on Turkey. Commenter by any Stephen say, I'm praying with the people of Ukraine. Innocent people will get hurt. Please, Father God, protect them. Jerome say all of this could be avoided if the West countries like the UK and US agree not to expand NATO into Ukraine. Do you think Russia could expand into Cuba? Wake up, people. CNN and BBC don't tell the full story. Why would you want your enemies in your backyard? Pina say, my thoughts and prayers with the peace-loving people of Ukraine during these horrible times. May God deliver Ukraine from the hands of the aggressor. Joseph say, why don't NATO and US stop flirting with Ukraine about creating allies and avoid a war? Simple as it is. In 1962, Russia tried to create allies with Cuba and place missiles. However, US refused it and went to war. US, NATO, and Ukraine provided everything needed to create fire. Russia is just helping with labor. People, please use your brain. Stop following mainstream media and political propaganda blindly. Ajay say, after COVID-19 killing dozens of people, now we are back killing ourselves. What a world. God have mercy upon us. Sally see, we don't need war. We don't need war. Let's live in peace. That is the ultimate message. We don't need war. Let's live in peace. Aha. And na yede trend, you know, ABC and pay.
And you're welcome back. That sound, for those of you on radio that you were listening to, was that of gunpowder. Gunpowder.
They were descendants of Putin.
Omufia. Send it 1 penny.
Vladimir Putin.
1 penny. 1 penny.
But some story be and a story. President expressed concern, but I'm in fact. Angeway brands and the Mr. President Yanaba.
Okay. Right.
Ghanaian students in Ukraine call on government for evacuation. The president of the National Union of Ghana Students, NUGS in Ukraine, Philip Bobiansa, has appealed to government to evacuate Ghanaian students in Ukraine. The decision is due to ongoing crisis in Ukraine as Russia invades the country, destroying their military installations. The NUGS president made this appeal on Thursday, 24th of February 2022, in an interview with an Accra-based station monitored by the Chronicle. Bobiansa further spoke on how the situation in Ukraine was making it difficult for students to move around as well as the closure of schools and airports. The NUC's president said the schools have been closed down until further notice as a state of emergency was declared by President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, on Wednesday, February 23, 2022. He further stated that students move in groups, but when a student needs to move alone, he or she has to make his own. He or she has to make his or her whereabouts known. According to him, the students are facing psychological trauma, as this is the first time being in a war situation. Meanwhile, he said that the students have been advised to hoard enough food with them so as to avoid going out. So I mean, students know
all right. In fact, President and someone also Akana and Broman Force, the President Nnamdi Kufuor has expressed concerns about the impact of the invasion of Ukraine by Russia on the safety and evacuation of Ghanaians and also on oil prices. In that regard, he has urged students and other Ghanaians in Ukraine to seek help at government places of shelter. The President said that was to ensure their temporary safety as the government engages the authorities, our relevant diplomatic missions and our honorary consul on further measures. The government places of shelter include Ghana's mission in that country, other buildings belonging to the government in that country. The diplomatic buildings of countries with whom Ghana has a bilateral agreement to fall on a safety place. Properties belonging to ECOWAS and the African Union. Auntie Ron, we any Omampeni Asma worker.
Sammy?
Yeah.
If you have experienced being in a war zone before, even you listening to gunshots from Video Boy and now your man was set up.
Yeah.
And I've heard stories of army generals sent to lead forces run away from war fronts. So I'm found okay, President Samdu and Prince Johnson or Montokwano.
Yeah.
One of somebody could PMO Ewo Ekumok headquarters of Liberia.
Yeah.
Then commander of Ekumok, General Arnold Kwenu.
And you are bringing back history.
No, Sammy, no, make some American.
It was
then General Arnold Kwenu, as brave as he was.
Yeah.
Cultured Ghanaian soldier, trained Ghanaian soldier. Sammy? And to quantity see between Doe faction and Johnson faction. According to reports, or say, almost to hand and to see. You want me to die in a war I did not cause? Then I had to run for my life. He disappeared from the scene. And that was how Prince Johnson captured Doe, and Doe was later killed. Sammy? War front there. And found himself in a Burma and on the Oba. It is scary. And I feel for our Ghanaian students in Ukraine today. To be caught in this crossfire. Sammy? Yeah. But you see, in all of this, the good people of Ghana living in Ukraine, students were let down by their state. Sammy, why do I say so? In the build-up to all of this, yet to say Ukraine could be invaded, Putin in USA, discussions, negotiations in Nema. Sammy, a lot of things were going on. When you go to Ukraine today, Morocco, Nigeria, Egypt, almost students' population make up for about 20% of African student population in world Ukraine. And Egypt has about 3,500 students in Ukraine. Nigeria has about 4,000. Morocco has the highest number, about 8,000 in Ukraine. Now, what did the Moroccans do? In the build-up to all of this, Moroccans communicated to Omunkofo and say, look, recommendation I did ban say, looking at how the issues are going, it will be safe. Say, free Ukraine, leave Ukraine. Advice on me, say, leave Ukraine if you feel unsafe. Because some of who say issues near escalating. It could get to a certain point, near my bedding. So leave Ukraine. Advice on my students. Take it or leave it. Sammy, as far back as 26th January 2022, Nigeria Embassy in Kiev, Emma information. Almost say, send a near my course to development a course over Ukraine. No. Nigerian residents, any students, any be our hold on. The contact numbers, about 7 email address in any account. Contact the embassy. Now, again, they went on to say that Nigerians are hereby advised to take their individual collective security very seriously. Avoid unnecessary travels within the country. This is as far back as 26 January, especially to identified hotspots in eastern Ukraine, and ensure they carry requisite identification at all times. Please be informed that the embassy would make periodic announcements as the need arises. Wait, a press release, press release from the Nigerian embassy in Kiev, Ukraine, 26 January 2022. Egypt sent similar advisory. As much as possible, no stay safe. Open so free Chrome, live there and come home. Sammy, when you go on to Ghana MFA, the official Twitter handle of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, on issues concerning Ukraine and Russia, the only time they made a post on this particular matter was yesterday, 24th February, concerning this matter. But you see, on that Twitter handle, I counted so many pictures of the foreign minister and job vacancies on that Twitter handle. That was what they sought. That was what they were interested in at the time. So it is true that Ghana doesn't have an embassy in Ukraine. True. They have a consulate. Consular operations are different from embassy operations. But you see, Sammy, Ghana has an embassy in Moscow as we speak. And you see, this was something that was happening between Russia and Ukraine. It's the foreign ministry telling us today that when all these things were brewing, the intelligence wing of the foreign ministry that was sent to Ukraine did not pick anything to even offer advice to Ghanaian students in Russia or Ghanaian students in Ukraine, knowing very well, say, they didn't have an embassy. Or even if the Swiss embassy, if Ghana's embassy in Ben had oversight over Ukraine, Sammy, they did not pick any intelligence to even offer advice in a certain direction. Is that what the foreign ministry is telling us? Sammy, Nigeria, coming back to Nigeria, when the issues were getting out of hand, they advised their students to leave Ukraine if they wanted to. You see, it was optional. If you want to leave Ukraine, leave. Because they had picked intelligence, the way things were going, possible, Putin would invade. Sammy, all of these things were done by countries that were proactive with regard to what was happening. We have been told, they were getting assurances from Ukraine, Russia will not invade. Getting assurances from Russia that they will not invade. But Sammy, that is why intelligence on the ground is important. That is why the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as part of Omujimedi Omudinu, they have a whole research department that is the intelligence wing of the Foreign Affairs Ministry. What were they doing? Sammy, so you see, we waited. We waited for things to get out of hand. We waited for Russia to finally invade Ukraine. Today, Foreign Ministry is telling us evacuation is not possible. Of course, it's not possible. Evacuation is not possible, but now the safety of Ghanaians is what they are looking for. Sammy, couldn't we have been proactive? Couldn't the Foreign Ministry take steps even before we arrived at this point? So that the 1,000 Ghanaian students who are in Russia today, who are in Ukraine today, Sammy, would get some relief. Sammy, living in a war zone, Sammy, the most terrifying experience anybody can have. And today, Nigeria is talking about airspaces being closed and arrangements being made. When the airspaces are opened, they will evacuate their citizens. They will evacuate their students from Ukraine if they want to be evacuated. Those who want to evacuate will be Yoma back to Nigeria. Government of Ghana is telling us today, evacuation plan be anyhow. So I mean, there's absolutely no evacuation plan today, as far as government on the government side is concerned. So I mean, I think that these students have been let down big time. Government has let these students down. And looking at the sequence of events, I mean, things have chronicled for you. Where this thing started from, as far back as November, when Putin was demanding Nema from NATO, was demanding certain things from NATO and the US. No, so I mean, you could just tell, say, it was only a matter of when, rather than if, Putin was going to do what he was planning to do. And for us to have sat aloof, so I mean, clearly, the foreign ministry sat down and did nothing about this situation. They should come out and tell us what travel advisories they gave Ghanaian students there. The students would have said it. The students who are complaining today about living in fear, so I mean, the students would have told us that, oh, they got assurances from government, say, or they were even advised to leave Ukraine prior to this happening. So I mean, nothing of the sort has been said by the students. And it is sad that we spend so much money to send these boys abroad, boys and girls abroad, and in times where you know that there's brewing, something is brewing, we cannot even think of their welfare, we cannot even think of their safety, but we only wait for whatever we are anticipating to happen before after a knee-jerk reaction. Knee-jerk reaction, and I have do. Students should go and seek shelter where? Students should go and seek shelter in government institutions, in places that are safe, and listen to Ukrainian authorities. I mean, I don't think that we have handled the students well. The Foreign Ministry of Ghana has failed to deliver on the mandate. So I mean, I listened to the Nigerian Foreign Minister, and this was somebody who was speaking with confidence because he knew, say, they had put plans in place for residents and Ukraine. If the worst happens, it is disappointing. Say, today Ghanaian students are crying. Say, back to Ghana. Right. The Foreign Ministry let us down big time.
I mean, here's some information now, I'm trying to say whether I can dig into my memory. If I interview Bobby, I think it's the news president or Ukraine. I think he made the comment suggestive of some communication coming from the Foreign Affairs Ministries. I stand to be corrected, but Mami Envy interview we say now your name Dr. Za Julius Kojo Eninkomo, or Vice President, Global Union of Ghanaian Scholars. Na Yeneno ending Komo. Kojo, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm hoping you're doing well today, sir.
Yeah, it's okay.
What do you have in terms of latest information as to the plight of Ghanaian students in Ukraine and Russia?
All right, so a bright morning to you and all your wonderful listeners. Yes, well, over the past 48 hours, we've been in intense meeting with our students in Russia and Ukraine. I'll start with Russia because that's where the good news is. For our students in Russia, everything is calm, basically calm. They go to lectures as normal as always. I mean, they are not online. They go to class. They go out to buy whatever they need. Basically, I will say for Russia, there's no new development. Of course, it was the same for Ukraine about a few days ago until things escalated. So in as much as we are celebrating the fact that for Russia things are okay, we cannot rule out a retaliation from Ukraine which could make things worse in Russia. Now, in Ukraine, the past 48 hours has been a very difficult situation for them. We've moved from things being okay, except just tensions, to students having to live in groups and live in bomb protection camps. So currently, most of our students have been asked to locate, leave their hostels or apartments to places that they are protected from these missiles and bombs and all that's happening there. But basically, we'll say they are okay. We've been in touch with them all night and they are doing well as we speak.
All right. Now, this morning, reading the Daily Graphic, we have been told that some places of shelter, some safe houses, some ECOWAS facilities have been made available to Ghanaian students to locate to these areas. What do you know about these locations?
Yeah, so they are emergency shelter locations, but we have to understand that this is nowhere. These are like emergency. It's a very, when West comes to West, this is where you can seek some protection. It's not as comfortable for those who have been there. They'll complain. It's not as comfortable. You may not get all your basic amenities. Some of the places are very crowded. And these are some of them just went to school a few months ago. We are talking of people who are 18 years, 19 years, and then they have to go through all this. So, yeah, I think the government in Ukraine is trying very hard to make life as much as possible comfortable for them in this difficult time. But I can guarantee you they are not getting it easy at all.
Please tell us, what's the level of engagement from the Ghanaian authorities with the student representatives there? All
right, so on the from the president of the National Union of Ghanaian Students in Ukraine, ideally Ukraine doesn't have an embassy, a Ghanaian embassy. So what they have is a representative because they work with that in Switzerland. So there's a diplomatic representative there. They've been in contact with him as always. He assures them that the government have them in mind. But I think that a lot hasn't happened, aside yesterday that we heard from the Foreign Affairs Minister and all that. However, we are also trying our very best as the umbrella body for Ghanaian students in diaspora to reach out to these major stakeholders on this issue and see how best we can resolve them.
Are there hotlines for Ghanaian students there? Or maybe a Ghanaian, okay, you represent students, so let me stick to students. Are there any hotlines that Ghanaian students maybe who may find themselves in some of the hot spots can contact to be evacuated to any of these safe houses?
Yes. So currently we have the NUCs in Ukraine. They have their various city executives. So we have a list of all the city presidents. So everyone is supposed to have that. Now we've also encouraged them that wherever you are going, take your vital documents, your WASSCE result or your bachelor's degree, your passport, your residence permit. So they have all these details. They are always moving out in group. If you want to go out in group, so that if we have to trace you, at least there is more options. So they have a whole list of it. Almost all the city presidents, we provided them with a number so that whenever you get stranded, you can easily reach out to them.
Now, let me ask about feeding. How are they surviving in terms of food they would eat?
So that is a difficult one. Of course, when the whole thing started, there were rumors, so I think a few of them quickly got foodstuffs down. However, like I said, it's been 48 hours since the whole thing escalated. So when the thing happened yesterday, most complained they tried to go out, but some places were blocked, some places were crowded. Of course, at the more people want to find their way through. Some are citizens, you are a foreigner and all that. So they got a few things. Some were lucky to have foodstuffs there already. And this is why we find it difficult. This is why we are appealing to the major stakeholders, the Foreign Affairs Ministry, the embassy in Switzerland. They have to reach out to these students. And we are told we have about 1,500 people there. That's a very huge number. So they are feeding, well, as we normally buy in bulk. The usual Ghanaian culture, you don't go buying every day. You have at least for a few days before the whole thing started. So they have some, but how long it will take them is the challenge that we are facing now.
So is that to say that there isn't any arrangement from government as to the supply of amenities, as to the supply of food? Nothing like that?
Well, currently not. Like I said, even with Ukraine, their airspaces are all closed down now. So from our last discussions, if something new has developed this morning, well, we've not heard of that yet. But as we speak, there's not. However, like I said, the representative is in touch with the leadership of the Students' Union. But we've not heard of any food or financial assistance to the students there.
How resourceful has been the consulate in Ukraine as to the concerns and needs of the students per your engagement with them?
Well, I would say they've been okay. Even when we have the embassies or the high missions, they always tell you decisions have to be made from home. Some decisions are more than them. Are higher for them to make. So you can imagine a consulate. It's very, very difficult. They try their best. He tries his best to be there for the students. But the reality is that in this difficult time, you need some decisions to be made instant on spot. You need some, some sacrifices here and there for the students. And that is where the problem is with our usual protocols. So he's been helpful to them. He's given them assurances. But I think the whole thing, the president will always tell you, when the whole thing started and he wrote letters, they've written several letters to the ministries. They didn't get a response. And that is why they are in this state. Because they wanted to know. There are a lot of rumors. But what is the situation? Because, of course, the Foreign Affairs Ministry will have a better idea of the situation on the ground than them. So they wrote to them several times, but response came in very, very late. So I think they are doing their best, but, well, we can just hope for the better.
Final question. Do you think that Ghanaian students in Ukraine feel safe?
Well, their safety as we speak is what we cannot guarantee because situations keep getting worse every day. As at this morning, everyone is safe. But what will happen today, we can't guarantee. That is why we are also looking at the possibility of evacuation. Yeah, the airspaces are closed, but people are moving to nearby countries, Bulgaria, Poland, and all that. So if we can consider, we can look into probably moving these students by road. Again, they don't have visa, so this is diplomatic ties. They don't have the visa to these nations. But a lot of the citizens are, they call them citizen nations. So most of the citizens of Ukraine are moving to these countries because as soon as you're just like Ghana and Togo, I can move into Togo anytime. But not everybody can get into Togo. So it has to be diplomatic, where our citizens are picked up if things get worse to some of these neighboring countries that are quite peaceful. For their welfare today, as at this morning, they are doing well. But nobody knows what will happen later this evening.
I thank you, my brother, for making time to speak to us this morning on the Happy Morning Show. And we wish you the best and safety as well.
Very much, bro.
And that's Vice President, Global Union of Ghanaian Scholars, joining us, Dr. Dzah Kojo Julius, with development in Ukraine. So, yeah.
I'm told, Poland, 15-day emergency visa. Into Ubudrua, Omaya and she shares Senebea 15 days, your memo visa, Senebea, be organized on our way free Chrome Hall. So you leave to Baby Alco from Poland, thanks to that 15-day visa. But Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Regional Integration, at the press release by 24th April 2022. Government of Ghana has noted with concern the deteriorating military situation in Ukraine, which directly impacts on the security and safety of our nationals, including over 1,000 students in Ukraine. The Ghana diplomatic mission in Bern, Switzerland, has urged all Ghanaian nationals in Ukraine to limit their movement into public places as they obtain essential goods and to remain in their homes or move to government places of shelter. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration wishes to assure the general public of its concern, and particularly our compatriots in Ukraine, that all efforts have been made to ensure their safety and security. Our diplomatic mission in Bern and our honorary consulate are directly engaged with the relevant authorities in Ukraine in effort to secure the safety and protection of Ghanaian citizens during this difficult period. So, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is concerned. They are lamenting just the same way we are lamenting here today. Ghanaian students in Ukraine are lamenting. This is a foreign ministry that should have taken the lead in all of this. This is where the foreign ministry has brought us.
Well, how your response, Abba, to this whole issue now? It looks as if you say it's either we downplayed the seriousness of the situation, because this was like something that was expected. We knew that eventually you best start to and other countries started making preparations and also communicating. Even countries that they knew say they themselves or been evacuating, they advised their people say leave now. while you still have the chance. What must I say? And you know, there was no communication all that while until it started happening. Now people were saying, so, oh, but Russia is targeting military bases. Just yesterday, over 100 people have died. A nursery school was hit. Just say, Akolabia Ewanka. But I understand the teachers too a prior. And they keep coming. And how do you what target bomba who share video nearby no? Omo to. Into who you share say being to me baby, even if it is targeted at particular places. Now, omo evacuate here. A lot of people, even Ukrainians, evacuate ammonium omo some person omufi kromo. Now we go blacky. At this time, you can't even go out to say some me copy diane. Into say war ne bomb ne ngun or come to me ekum. It's serious, and we downplayed it, and we are still downplaying it, releasing statements.
Empty statements.
No, with no direction. There is no concrete information in the statements.
Well,
telling them to look for safe shelter. No, where are they going to find safe shelter? No.
Well, all I'm hoping for in ending, seeing that it's time for sports and Raymond has to go, is that the diplomatic buildings being spoken about by His Excellency the President, the students know them. You see, it's not just about students we are talking about, and I Ghana for one we took wine. So there are Ghanaian citizens, not just students, in Ukraine. Our emphasis and focus is on students this morning. But there are Ghanaian citizens in Ukraine who may be doing something there. Obi or a businessman, Obi a hono akwa settle, our born bra and that individual is a Ghanaian citizen. As we speak now, the information that is out there has not indicated Ghanaian citizens in Ukraine, the ministry or the consulate or even the embassy in Switzerland knows about our more Ukraine. We don't know the number of Ghanaians in that country. But we are being told that there are diplomatic buildings that these students can go to. How do you identify a diplomatic building? And it is in times like these that sometimes, I miss when the COVID broke out and then Ambassador Edward Boateng in China was on top of his game.
Showed leadership.
Was on top of his game. WhatsApp platforms, video calls, this, giving direction, sending food, sending money. When issues about evacuation came, how it was handled. That tells proactiveness. But they are folding their arms at I'm wondering how students there would identify these diplomatic buildings. I'm worrying how they can identify these, how do you call it, safe houses.
So my students cry more a umbrella body cry no more not ordinary Ghanaians
But time is not our friend. Yen dash it quickly. Now yen go for sports here, but if we do have time, I'll share my deeper thoughts on this Ukrainian matter. Yen go for sports in Yembra. Back to the Happy Morning Show. And as I say, this sports update, bro, Raymond Nyamado, I quite or the update, Ray, and I sports then,
well, Sammy, Ukraine is saying no, Abuja sports more papa because domino effect and a ripple effect, it's cut to sports, with the updating in Ebebramo.
Okay.
Happy 98.9 FM, and I was also so UTA, share, ETV Ghana. Now, Jimmy Dino, the Happy Morning Show sports updates, me. And I saw within some kaka ebebramo from the world of sports. Ebe shasi amameka will say 1xbet at time echi dindindia medi jumedi we ebro 1xbet say come website so 1xbet.com.gh 1xbet.com.gh okohwa register na be a new account or register now be a new account obema opportunity to enter a promo code as enter a bet gh BETGH. When that's our promo code now, obema 200% bonus on your first deposit. No, the message one expert say from bro. One expert say, "Okohwa markets ne de bebre odds no so de akakra kankwa ene wo mo website so a okwa obetumi etwa bet na wo so wetumi enya sika pudu amosi undi 18 na memfa woni entro mo website so ko twa bet betting addictive into bet responsibly we the message one expert say from bro ye be sha se dia now you better see from the Ghana Premier League because second round of the Ghana Premier League no you better see and match day 18 of the 2021-2022 Ghana Premier League season no say and matches no ebe koso this weekend yakopiemo ewo Soga Kofe and now Wafa Park Wafa Enikin Faisal Enebeshia Saturday ochina matches no ebe to us Legon City to welcome Accra Hearts of Folk to the Elwak Sports Stadium, and on Sunday Kumasi Asante Kotoko league leaders who welcome Dreams FC to the Papayara Sports Stadium. Elmina Sharks, relegation threatened, welcome newly promoted Accra Lions to the Indom Sports Stadium. Ashanti Gold would stay at home at the Obasil and Clay Sports Stadium. Now Omo host 11 Wonders. Midiama SC who welcome Bichim United to the Akun Park in Takwa. Bekum Chelsea and BBN Gold Stars at the Befeso El Bekum Golden City Park. Na Ekopiemo El Doma Nana Ajimabedu the first park. Adriana Stars and Karela United at the Befeso El Hall. Final match of the round no. Ebekoto on Monday. About Olympics and Real Tamale United Beshia El Accra Sports Stadium. We and in Sem Kakra. Amede Bremo from the local scene. Remo ewo de koso ewo amanone na EU Parliament enra omotumi ekoli on UEFA EU Parliament catch UEFA say be possible omon cut ties with Russia. Russian companies and venues are use for ongoing tournaments as far as the European League is concerned and the UEFA Champions League in Sensem no concerned na osha main bone of contention any upcoming final na nka say ekoso was St Petersburg Gazprom Arena was St Petersburg no way and sema mpenyufo eda to just say mpenyufo to me share na omontumi enyi sa venue no every akensie no na again so no almost say ongoing sponsorship ekoso between Russian state-owned energy corporation Gazprom and UEFA no so omontumi share na omon cancel ne nyina ensema akopiemo every UEFA Parliament aba na efra sa asem no ho ane pe UEFA eti sa asem from UEFA Parliament pe almost say ene 10 AM CET no say omontumi share 10 AM CET no so omontumi share na omoye emergency meeting enti na UEFA be hold emergency executive committee meeting na omontumi deliberate over plans to move the UEFA Champions League finals say course on the 28th of May no from the Zenit St Petersburg Gazprom Arena na omude atre another venue we and sema course because of development escalate Ukraine we and sema a free hoso eba yedi ni bedi nsem na echi na bibia nsem na nyina wo no yedi abre etiefo still Ukraine no Brazilian players musi akan ema Shakhtar Donetsk any Dynamo Kiev no dia omo akempa na ohwe video enra abrantie I friend of Marlon Santos or release ya obo say players of Dynamo Kiev any Shakhtar Donetsk no sa Brazilian players we any omo families any omo video no ma na omo seeking for help omo calling for public support na utie abrantie a friend of Marlon Santos asema na odi tuja ne say o see here we are gathered Dynamo and Shakhtar players with our families staying at a hotel because of the situation. Shakhtar defender Marlon Santos said now o see we are here asking for your help due to the lack of conditions in the city, closed borders and closed airspace. There's no way we can get out. We ask a lot of support from the government of Brazil, which can help us. Into translation, no, and omodiba ya asema brantia no editu jano, eno ene sema media bramo nti say ene situation ekoso ewo Ukraine as we speak. Shakhtar Donetsk players, ene Dynamo Kiev players no, omo akemie pa na ohwese na dwumede ne ekoso ne dia. Ghanaian players no. Yenyanyantie about almost state yet but meso na yenya information on Ghanaian players ya dey updating nyina ebebremo ewo dwumede we so yenremo ewo UEFA Champions League any UEFA Europa League insensemo na enra UEFA Europa League no matches no of the second round of playoff matches no ekoso na osha results ekopiem ne dia Sevilla progressed to the next stage of the competition despite losing to Dynamo Zagreb by 1-0. Porto so progressed to the next stage of the competition after drawing 2-2 with Lazio. Omotumi winning first leg. No Olympiacos Etinafie Atalanta be trying by 3-0. Atalanta progressed to the next stage of the competition, a round of 16. No RB Leipzig Eche we also said that they trying by 3-1. Betis and Zenit in Petersburg. And now a very emotional match. Of course, so it was Stadio Benito Villamarin. Obra na Russians no Omotumi ebe PMO it was Spain no na a hosem because na acquires emotions be and a war match no. Now 0-0 and as a game no NDA Betis progress to the next stage of the competition. Sisiano Oka competitions are Russian teams are participating in their Europa League no and their Russian representation. Braga and Sheriff Tiraspol Asia no Braga to make a call through to the next stage of the competition via the penalty shootout. Napoli Barcelona match no Barcelona to make Napoli trying by 4-2 and Rangers any Dortmund, you know, 2-2 and as a game no end year. Now, Osha teams are more qualified to the next stage of the competition. A round of 16 of the new format. Nidia, Red Star Belgrade, Eintracht Frankfurt, Galatasaray, Leverkusen, Lyon, Monaco, Sparta, Moscow, West Ham. Now, other teams no Atalanta, Barcelona, Betis, Braga, Leipzig, Porto, Rangers, and Sevilla. Into Spartak Moscow. We have a share Sena Nyama Beko. And Ewo Nyon, headquarters of UEFA no draw for the round of 16 no ebetume akoso ewo ho na yekopiemo ewo UEFA Conference League no so dia no teams we na omotumi epiemo ewo next stage of the competition. Bodo Glimt qualify after eliminating Celtic. Leicester City almost omotumi edu this stage of the competition after eliminating Randers. Olympic Marseille so etumi eliminating Karabakh. Partizan onuso wa be rem ewo ha. PAOK, PSV, Slavia Prague and Vitesse omunyina omuremo ewo round of 16 ewo UEFA Conference League numa seeded teams are ombekwa koshia AZ Alkmaar, Basel, Copenhagen, Feyenoord, Ghent, Lask, Roma and Stade Rennes. And a draw no ebeko so 12 noon 12 CET and sa match no ebetumi sa draw no betumi akoso ewo Nyon headquarters of UEFA. And now match back akoso ewo English Premier League no na eno outstanding match back Arsenal na so mutumi ebo match day 20 fixture rescheduled no and now and to me call so Emirates na akensie na ehya ase ape Arsenal and Wolverhampton branch a friend Wang Hee-chan as first goal Emma Wolves in the 10th minute of the game. Arsenal left it late. Pepe Etumi equalize Mamo in the 82nd minute of the game and Sana Jose Sa a own goal in the 95th minute to ensure say Arsenal won that game by 2-1. See, Arsenal have moved up to 5th on the English Premier League table, 1 point behind Manchester United with 2 games in hand. We and in Sema Ewoho weekend way big match because so Wembley and no Carabao Cup final because between Chelsea and Liverpool Wembley Sunday and as I can see no Ebetumi Akosoa. Media Hunsem Kakra Abre Eti for Ewo Jumede no so. For more sports, tune in to Happy Sports at 9 a.m. Ohene Bampo Brenya, Alan Green, the researcher, Udia Sempa Kwame Wari, on Betinase, now with the sport, me here, Abremo, Ewo Jumede no so. Makamo, Yaba Daniel Kakra, Yababaka, the Happy Morning Show continues.
And welcome back to the Happy Morning Show. It's live on Happy 98.9 FM, Nisim 95.9, and 100.1. Yeah, more about Jumedi. So I'm hoping that Anapay your day has started well. Bibi awuye biano eko eye ede ema quickly find entrepreneurship no tidbits no embre on month 4 on how to become a successful techpreneur. One of the key things you ought to have a persistence. It's a plus to always have an idea and fleshing it out into a finished program. You need to persist. The quality must also be, on point. And again, the right team, people that you're going to work with. Sometimes you start with friends, but they may have no idea the vision, the direction you want to go. Make sure so they believe in the vision, they believe in the drive, they believe in the objective, and you get there easily. And to any entrepreneurship tips are the Emma Oman for Anapay Live our Happy Morning Show no so memfa and chiakese enko Emma Odophobia. Minia Jodebra Menchiano. Jodebra saying, happy birthday to Fatih. Sawa sometimes it beats me kaka. Anyway, I don't know whether I should say Rahel.
Obidia Rachel, Obidia Rahel, Obidia Raquel. Okay. I just said Nifanabekachro.
Okay, so this one I should say Rahel. No, this one is
Rachel.
Okay, all right. So let me say happy birthday to Dr. Rachel Ayiwa Asante at the police hospital, and it's coming from your mom, Helena Akosia Edusa in Italy, your brother Nathan, and all the family, wishing you happy 27th birthday. And happy birthday to you, Rachel. Wishing you the very best of the day, and I'm hoping that you save lives and put smiles on the faces of, your patients who come to you for assistance. Yemfa Ayagana Kasa and Brad before. Eme aso sɛ yɛde Ghana kasa ɛbrɛ adɔfoɔ nyinaa na anɔpɛ yi ofrɛ ɛwɔ yɛahoma no ɛso a yɛne ebidi nkɔmmɔ namba no ɛyɛ 0244885140 anaasɛ 0549508687 any of these numbers so far yɛne obedi nkɔmmɔ sɛ ɛyɛ ɛfa issues a yɛ discuss the Ukrainian issue, the plight of Ghanaian students and Ghanaians in Ukraine for that matter. Obetumi akyerɛ wadwene ɛde afa ho. Say your community concerns and our person you discuss here Akwenya Elhonum. Any other topical issue of interest to you that you want to discuss or talk to us about, Akwenya Elhonum Edema 0244885140. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Rasani.
Yes, sir.
Rasani, we are going to all right.
All right, Yanante.
And I probably might discuss the Ukraine issue passionately. Therefore, come on now, ina senior ya o manu the retumpon na ye kan wasa na yenda ye friends ambassador Edward Watson o senda na fi clearly we see a threat the bobra o threat time na say corona e sha say AC e wo China na and there before catch say ye share you live ya ngo students mo e friends Ukraine emba na say Ghana o say obia pebi di na odimi kifa say Togo e betu akwati na it is better say betu akwati na Togo because you say Omaya sabi war isi na ye kunkuma manfo na ye nkofa ye nkrofo mbra sabi sabusia kwa sa things o say ye pebusia na nke dey fight citizen ye ba because of Ghana ye value
muntia 11 no
o say
aninti ne yesi muntia 11 no
aninti ye tia 11 this ye tia 11 tia ye nkofa ye citizen every Ukraine mbra na tisa ye tia ye ma your friends private jet e di o single person e di free friends US e di parliament because only any party Ghana for na yes actually yan kunku yan na ya be kan be twa ko Togo bye bye
Martin Meadows and a place of friend about media no so and 0244885140 0549508687 obetimi any edi nkomo and pay on issues we have discussed and issues that you feel should have occupied our minds this morning that we have not touched on. And then obetimi ede brain. Raymond, yesterday I saw a comment somewhere. I read it out to you, and then we'll proceed. Hello, good morning.
Sammy.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. And you, sir?
From the United States of Kisaman.
In my uncle.
Nice one. Sammy, and they say, Ntina incha ile bi sesa na wo kan sana wo kan wo nti sesi ayi hu se wo support for mo nti ile bi anka ye ho anka we can live in this country now 11 no mo de ba no e trick-o sami etamu kam uko hospital government hospital kwa mo ka se tia omomo tene be ya e be tie wo nti e be ka se tia omomo e na mo ka che but omuna omo Ukraine no sami pe won say Nigeria for akwako ekofa omadisi anamebwa
Dabi
and yeah no one shame why
Dabi advisory and diamomo
say omukofa omunkrofo
Dabi how to conduct yourself say near US embassy say sometimes it is my issue advice them citizens or more Ghana hanum say especially to elections time or areas they shouldn't go, areas they must go. It's the same thing.
Okay, Senior almost Ghana no. I think the government they should do all they can to bring them back because Sammy who internet near Kosovo and yet What I say, nti for much omu here. Who say me have a cousin there also no go medicine. Charlie, anyway me frame na wo so kwa. Just say only be akọ.
Minia, me do asa no pay say onsusu no audio de e dia brain 0244885140 onso betimi afre na no pay no oni yedi enkomo na onso comment onso thoughts onso views awo no dia brain and 0549508687 0549508687 ofre me a no body any baby awo free e dia free. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sammy.
Yes, sir.
It's
Nyamiado mpacho me hoye mpacho na onso e.
Nyamiado me hoye. Sammy.
Yes, sir.
Na your vice president Pacho Owokoimu.
Pacho wa mbodi ama me any baby afre free.
Your friend video mi ka sekitema.
Mpacho enko.
Your vice president the friend bita Owokoimu a.
Owa
Na dollar ni dwane sa nti ohun se dollar ni dwane.
Oh, say
vice president dollar e dwane ontimi nchi dollar ni biom.
Kinu IG
dollar ho asem. Now of digitalization. Now you was digital. Now digital then come nimse you was digital no. In since you register national ID card and now say health insurance and now you be our passport. Definitely no. And voters registration you know. You for obia fingerprint. You can obia photo. You do obia information. Into where it goes informations. Master say who pay an opa. Now nam krum na ko hwe nkofa ekiu register SIM card nkofa register omoji health insurance card obi ye ni 2019 onya up to now na say ye wo leadership papa sad we enkoso masa ye to aba no ye registration no na a girl bi oye 19 years okrane nana abrewa oye about 70 something na 80 years eno obe confirm obe certify say ni nana ni ye Ghana ni simply because ni nana ni passport or no akwara ni wo passport na enye sebi on mabua enkosi year how can a 19-year-old girl testify say ni grandmother e Ghana ni omo bi enu one na say o testify mabako na so Ghana court na ho kan say pass birth certificate na e wo passport no ma ye fa nye djuma now Kesia Ghana yeka domestic debt a 341.8 billion. Masa 341.8 billion. Yenche tama enkroma breso ebedu jomama na yeka 120 billion. Che 120 billion ifi 341.8 billion mu. Difference na ka no e dey no mo dia be ye. Now you levy.
All right, Minia.
Yeah. Times 3 years na ka MPP no.
Medo say, ma woni ebiso mfre na ombra homa so na ono so no entimi enchire na adwene. Ye na nkakra na obi anso so etimi enya bre na obi anso so etimi akabi. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Morning, Chief.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, Ambacho, udin. Isaac Macho enko.
And any that me questioning am the base still me team who I show. Sammy. That masola no pana me question is car me kita 100 cities. Me Sammy fa 11 cost me come de no. Wa bra no pa me transaction bia. I think what the first 100 no on ka ho. First 100 no on ka ho. Nti me ko na ma question me sika na ka cham da me Sam fa 11 nka me tiafe. Awo yam for no na Ghana card na registration. Sammy Timpemfu no e wo fa kaswa tu Accra, what Malam Junction, MTN office wa. Hey, that is I mean, no na papa no ma so light there. What's office what you meeting be? No, what the other to register. No, why you what the office or no, the other to TV do not president na vice. No, what they are trying. No one come here na no will be they do 250 red or no kotakwa. No, or register card. From Titire to Takwano, 13 cities. Na onya na watanaba. Mami when you be 70 years. Honestly, on chassis on the work one register ni obecha ni minute no. E kon bia do register because never be send in mumu na de. What man ni chop money aban.
Yo, Uncle Medo Asanope, I'm the any that question may be saying a man tassy and Tibocho Sema answer ya no fetch him. But say I 100 Ghana cities near Cassenda, Bocho on count and Bocho no fetch him and the man tassy on in Abia in Yana Metamo no 1 Tashum into Bocho fetch him. Young Chiado say you find final call on Afi Yaba student needs in Como na Afinum Yashe. And you're more way in him. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello. I'm saying your final caller no, you have a problem with your final caller no ahomano. See in Sakana, you know ebedi and komo and pay. But final caller ebu rema na yen twaso na yen kodi and komo. Na and koma and pay no. Ye di ni e di a ni say ye be saying who say unim o member of parliament ni social media handle and as ni social media account wo MP or a social media account na ebia wo concerns ebia wo issues bia obetime bisa na e social media na mama fa me final call na afi ne mema gist of what's ahead of us. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, chief. What you doing be free?
But your friend Chief Ngozi Mekasafi Eduku Mountains.
Chief Machenko.
Me bachona me say Ghana had a problem are you facing. Me not sure say we been a cause of problem because we call ourselves professors. What I say high esteem. O man my woman 24 attitude 24 man. E no me koso. Na fe adentina ene na with the president when they say it is so beauty no official idea will be to the above man now. What do you mean and find the social media so this is the plan, so this is the way forward and some of my year. But we still blame others, they be no be I say no be I say and you claim for the war and Russia for our monkey. Say petroleum no man no crude oil no ambabu and there's some man after the even tram crab you. And he really a ceremony. Samo di unkomodia ade mu ni unkomo na mo frɛ epedifo no na mo ma mo nsɛm no nu o mani yie pa because I think that this social media thing dey o ma tiable by this time some mo so mo ka ebe mu no mo kata yie no because every morning I'll be watching your program me try to share more mata mo nye bibi mo
you baba your home den ya bibi aboa before me start to send me for callers no and we are not picking any more calls. Mame and can we say Emfa Emma Etifo and this is a commenter and ram a chance upon a social media there be obi any who you know they send me about TV a friend Kelly ni latte mensa was it Happy 98.9 FM has a guy on their morning show called Raymond. He's smart. Even if not for that guy, I wouldn't have grabbed the whole Russia-Ukraine conundrum. To explain it in simple terms, it's about a state-conscious military tact and karate guru and his comedian brother from the entertainment industry. One is thinking about military strategies and espionage implications on their existence if they go into an alliance and their competitors, and the comedian is saying on the other hand, and it goes on, blah, 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 blah. Well, Ray, and I pay as captain, I salute you.
Thank you, Jenna.
It tells you where we are going with the Happy Morning Show. It tells you that people appreciate what we do on the Happy Morning Show. And as we always say, utie nasa oshe na umpenokre na menfo fidie no ento hanum say. Aha, yenye NDC sem wo ha. Aha, yenye MPP sem wo ha. Se MPP ho asem ba, ye be kan ya. Se NDC ho asem kan, ye be kan ya. Se me ho asem eba, se me ye de Messi apasoda e wo dwuma ye so. Ah, ye twa machi a. Se me ho asem ba, ye be twa machi. Fati ho asem ba, ye be twa nachi. Raymond ho asem ba, ye be twa nachi. But I say kudos for the good job you're doing on the Happy Morning Show. Thank you. Na opeso oje opeso my remarks be on Abaso.
I just saw a whole speech here on Facebook. Yeah, 3 pages.
Professor Max Biana
say Sammy Jumana, you know, as much as possible. No, you say education come it's here for near shuffle. It's whatever we have to do to make sure say we feed them the right information there. You better also I am.
But comments be about mankind. Mankind. Or see the Rasta man, he the fire brutal.
Now that when I'm a Rasta man.
Well, apparently, Kelly, the gentleman who wrote that, works with a sister network.
Oh, okay.
Or I think it's GH1 TV.
Oh, I see.
So, I mean, they have a platform of their own.
Yeah.
And yet, if he follows the Happy Morning Show, then that should tell you that, Charlie, we are doing something right.
That's
and so,
right.
Ray, keep it up. And to the entire Happy Morning Show team, Kwame Damte, Isaac, the editors, Omo THD, Omo Echinchim Noma, the director, Youngson, and Cosby, everybody else, kudos for a good job done. But the end also, so who say Roman or better now names and I am person, na so what Chenny, a figures na eba outsana, na BB Eshasia, a fire no, I don't go next level premium energy drink. Now, who is Wababa, who say, Wababa, necessary, who say Bibia, air quote and kind. But yen him said, I have February dear, I end dear, and so I ended dear. Na ye match mu so dia azomai na ye de ni edi atwe se ye 6 match na ye kwa akodie ye kodi 6 match na ye bi say hu say entutuye no etisen considering say a very historic event a ye nyina no da nyina no ye de ye ni edi atwe na ye reflect azomai say ye na muntu a ye tu after your independence no anya bia na ene ye dru ye kwa homa no so na ye ne opening Kwesi Ajimai ending komo where opening awada Ghana Tourism Authority one more anima and pay no ND and komo opening yemwa about ever Happy Morning Show so
with us same me chair for na production team ni obibia
na anapay mpombo ko de ja
nyambia da roba yes I think we be dey there
I say 6 match on komo NED, but memfa kakra entwem na membisa say there's been an effort to drive a local tourism on my way say mo. There's been talk about some 100 million which was allocated towards that. There's been talk about revamping most of our tourist sites on my way say mo. So far, you're doing here.
Oh, Samuel sir, Osha over the last few years, especially since COVID, by effort, they call domestic tourism, I couldn't name, and the friend numbers and so in terms of figures, I from various tourist sites, and the Ghana also efforts no was become much say a couldn't name. Over infrastructure development, the tourist sites I been improve products go baby to say a bridge here make us say Juma Koso Golu Bushegu Kintampo Tafia Tome Nina Central Museum Kente Museum Ayewo Bonure any other places. In Juma Koso most of them know upgrades of some of these tourist sites. And they were greenfield ones and so ever up to say Yakwa Koshe say we have the center of the world project. Union GTDC, Marine Drive, Lina projects a world system. But I want to say tourism, no, so it move from sightseeing. So we say we call share day way. There be people want to experience destinations. Into say Cape Coast no Bekwa, and yes, I castle, the local culture, Ghanaian war, how nightlife, Namibia, and your net operators union of Ghana, I think Ghana Hotels Association, Yakabuma, Osha, almost every month there are several organized activities. And now make ABC Independence Day, Elko Cape Coast. You know, say center the cradle of tourism, we share some of the best, the most visited sites. To take Kakum, we call it the two castles, Mina Cape Coast, other places, Hans Cottage, Asenman, so Riverside. This is a Honda. Into a area, enclave will be a tourism, no, it's in what is there. Into the Independence Celebration Committee, no, our cabo say a call there, there was a tourism, so a fair to my personal home, making sure activities. Make us say, Sunday may bar, we will say, a home for so bad at the bar. Hotels, Woho, I'm sending answer, any hoteliers in a hospitality sector, Nisha. So, who bo, women, women, NCCFE, hotel accommodation. Who be around the Independence Day celebration time? Who be? I will be brave. Media houses are visitors if someone on neighbor or more other dignitaries are ever or when no matter hotel. River Faka, everybody did, everybody in boost to the local economy. Inti the idea president the buy say every year you be move Independence Day celebration around. If there is one decision that will really or has really helped put tourism, domestic tourism on the map, yes, our decision, because start here a quarter mile, because that's a year of return in Finnipe. Diaspora wa hanging Ghana hanging Omuka Hubu, the buses, Echo Tamale Comachi, Ubuana Katamale, Kenya, the Wisihoda. So, Moon Tinabas, Mufa, Kora, Tachima, Kentampo, Yape, Kukudru Tamale, Comache, Ibitua Sukra, Ko Bolgania, that is Korishe. Inti, when say Independence Day celebration, Sunday, to see a every year a move, but in central region, I focus on this year, no. Because I think it's an idea to honor. It was a local arts, cultural activities, entertainment. I will be a crowd.
Well, we will come to the plans more for 6th of March. But maybe, sir, you made mention of hotel and somehow say it may all be fully booked on the 6th of March, But one of the major concerns about local tourism, the cost of accommodation and I say hotels, so could do on the map. Sometimes, now you bought offer, now I say, me pay, be done your butcher. Now, discourage you from driving in the first place or traveling to these locations in the first place. How do we solve that high hotel cost virtually across the country?
I'm saying, market forces at play in the first place. I work control price mechanism. There was I want to be charged to this point. It will be nice in a hotel. And I didn't want to say na hotel me charge into so I know about that one pound no die. The mindset. But the new hoteliers engage a lot of them, a lot of stakeholder engagements are also. This year they were division here where I friend of PPP, a public-private partnership forum. And we are engaging them there. In as much as market forces at play, more product and also package I talk about Ghana. It's a different about Ghana. Now, Oba, none the board there. Say the already 3 days. Why have they changed no circle? Most of me who say, and yeah, dear, Fridays no much now. We don't need any Into a motion pick to your side to cook in what to the womb because when you say, lean season, never. And Untina Oshan and saying we are doing a lot of domestic promotions. Anyway, so rooms 10, then they be on 10 rooms, in 7 crab any which matter so. But Kubana said their rooms in the whole fleet now all of a sudden it's Independence Day, Banty, Nipat there, but now Beshaka Wabo Atuha and Nani Pandem on all the nation. And you are engaging themselves for sustained business promotion. We will come in, help with them, work with them. And to show platforms are created to say visit Ghana, app, any website, all the hotels are now being loaded onto it. It is also so cooking coaster. There is that visibility. It is conformable to me when I say, okay, hotel, those competitive ninya be mu pe prices ni be perform hotels also me atia say sometimes the taxes ni nema omutuatia oboko assembly jo gamru jo yesterday they will notice board the board na assembly asanje EPA ba Food and Drugs Authority ba Standards Authority ba we obetuatia ni na 100 or 150 or 120 or we na almost omuakudum nti no so ya engage akwa kudu parliament there's harmonization that is being discussed. The company which are harmonizing all these things. And yes, agency be IGF, in a hotel for you and as a restaurant for you and almost they are private sector people. We need to give them the space to operate. No one to employ more people. Indeed, that discussion idea I could be parliament with a subcommittee. I could do Ministry of Finance. Indeed, say, yes, I heard you, man. You go promote to send a there will be full occupancy or even occupancy rate in the cost. A cost na say, we say that any day now or 40%, 50% occupancy. Which matter? Ni boso kaka.
Me obi ametai echo Cape Coast but for some time now, ne kono I am a ding. Me fam who is one of the local tourists that metai echo honum because of traffic. Me who ewo kaswa Bujumbura. In that respect, the traffic situation is discouraging me as a local tourist from visiting Cape Coast. No, and also no, I don't know GTA moya fahu.
Nina, tell me kind of PPPF no any engagements you go so ayedi. Osha asisia no, we know so far quite a swatcha. Roads Ministry, I mean at say, acquire we see a cocoa through winning by day. I say, Omugu show as there, any dust from Obabe, so must start it. But to go with Dumbrama, Osha, I want to require him, the contract is ongoing. Hopefully, the end product will be dualization to Cape Coast. By the interim, we need to crosswalk or do winning bumper, like I say, in the interim. We've been engaging. Osha, there are several routes, the Ministry of Roads, and the Hong Kong, or Gianoma Mountain. Say contracted Sasudan in the way you call we say now we boutique force and also anyone do call a Kakum the idea Yakaya Sisia quite a bit them fine from my way. Me feel it's engagement, Ministry of Roads Armenia and here as a Cape was a priority. Me hopefully say in the next few months or even by a year's time already and make a whole major development of that. By the interim, I believe tourism, in the center of a town, that is a challenge. Bujumbura be a challenge. But at the same time, the Bujumbura experience is also not something that we can do away with. It is all the things that we are telling to operators. They say, your timing is critical. Road network, which may use to be all crowded, there are diversions, which may use to send a people can get there on time and come. There are some of these challenges, sanitation challenges, road network challenges, marketing. High idea, and also we also is so crazy. In here, come once and now make sure say numbers no, or more ready traffic for the meantime there. I'm also a push now eventually when rules no are done, by that time we have a strong base, we can improve upon it.
Sir, me dane many Mako Cape Coast, Yamepa, Yemfan is a Missimo on the 5th, Nameko because of a 6 March. How different would Cape Coast be for me, Metai Ekohono, from the usual Cape Coast I know because of 6 March, Ebaho, any GT, Ejuma Moye?
Oh, who coffee for the other name and one Mississippi Bay? It's a Jumani starting the 1st of March. There's a big forum by or Misaka or Cape Coast University. Okay. And then Regional Coordinating Council, GUBA, any other private sector bodies, diaspora coalition. We Cape Coast baby, any anoma sebi, Omoko kwa sumwa na say return of mobile, and only baby, do one about Mosakotra. Inti investors be or more you call your hospitality sector the more hotels do here for the diaspora mobile restaurants, Mabel's Table, Mama Africa, one next town, and saying, Wakanda village, Koma, near Cebu village, Pan Africa village, Central. The forum can see because of the first, I fell invest in Central. Central Regional Coordinating Council, areas opportunities in the world, steady Kaho. Now, share some of the case studies, Kufi, Casa de Europa, Nessaina, Omochimia, and the end of us, Quabena, Omono, Etimi, Etu, Omuniano, so forth. And no happy on the first. The other activities, so operators of Union of Ghana are organizing tours for school children to go to most of the tourist sites. If you look at Kakum, if you look at Sema also, they know the so second, third. Then the fifth, there's a big vigil. I know you're friend beyond the return vigil. You know, Elmina Castle, Central, Cape Coast Ghana, and Elmina, Sweden, Kakum, Subian, Sema also tours, Sweden. But vigil no air cashier because I'm vigil now so crano CTFM for our heritage caravan or maybe team or honor I knew more any club any other organizations say beyond the return vigil it will mean a castle. This is the first time we're doing something in the castle itself. It will mean that normally a panafest emancipation I didn't have PO Cape Coast. In general see a big one and Kundi and Nakasa. That is on the 5th. And we are now on the 5th also. About for drafts for Omoni Vipers, Omoni Bueni, and we check what Tokone has Sayebono, because this is the local dev into you say and also at the Kikahoka Kabeba supporters and Nibeji Asafu groups like a home bay match into a whole web and Binya Bibi Ashe. And then a 6 match Ankasa Abba. Into social activities and also all them religious activities, cultural activities. But eventually, 6 March is the grand day. I hope we'll be visiting dignitaries. So we never be peon. We take us for us now. We come more ocean and saying health for community, any other activities on my own. This is the city is poised. Almost Omudi they will showcase Omowa Dili.
Openi ansana ibeja mwako no na HMS Happy Morning Show eba be PM wo hono ma ye ba ye kura wonemu den ba bia betu bia hono
Omombra kura be kanu ibi se eyi we mono ye hiamu be break chese de mu hia ene ti mesre ma Omombra ena ina so no happy sports ti mesre mo draw stay vipers se gesi mo na so
you're nice holding.
That's it.
You're nice holding. Yeah, the Omobako a year Sino Gastins, no one who dear Wohonum. No Mako High School, Papa Power.
You for how?
Oh, David, somebody a cocoa dear. Or my two. Yo, I don't say, already say, only a dinko, Mr. Kusaj, my needing come see you, Emma, a Ghana Tourism Authority. Na me Kyle Manfo said, Yamepa, the morning show team would be live from Cape Coast. The live coverage of 6 March. The Ebeko Soni Nano, the Ensem Ebebro Manfo, the CRTSC town videos, the air court, the Ebeward Nesi Ninano, the Ensem Ebebro Manfo, and the special edition of the coverage of 6 March, the Ensem Ebebro Manfo, and we encourage you to be a part of it. ETV Happy 98.9 FM. Yadi sa aye jumediyesu nkuino yadi bebre Manfo. Yeah, Carl Manfo is all other political and current affairs activities nyano ope first hand information. It should always be with ETV and Happy 98.9 FM. State of the Nation address. You say somewhere around third and the TTC say or Mampani Bay State of the Nation address. Ninano be rest assured say your number one trusted current affairs network, ETV, and Happy 98.9 FM. Yadi eho ensem ebebro. And today, open information mano enda hano musei. Yentuaso na menu edin komo efa adonko next level premium energy drink home na me catch us ultimate adwuma den amount of vitamins and proteins na eboa so amount high concentration and memory improvement eboa relieve body of bodily pains into bomodia say ohye edano asia na wabobako you have a lot of energy for the entire day. From 0204898698 na onyomo ND enkomo undi 18 years and above and numbi sounds so na oba wa for yefunu anase wo ma akoda nu fon so no eni se wonum bie na nyame pa eye ene avia yes ene avia ampaya edwa ewo Ashaiman main lorry station honum na yekopemu honma na de epa da Benjamin de num na ye de ebre omanfo ewo honum dompra sifa dankwa ene team ni nyina no ye de eye epa da Benjamin de ye de bre omanfo ewo eye Ashaiman main lorry station num issues are what be what you only say about Ranti Jankopo you are a hypocrite you're a hypocrite. Ah. What the opposite of tourism? Shut up. Hey.
So who got tourism?
You finish it.
Oh, my son is happy more. Go shut up, Roti. Shut up, Roti. Shut up. Well, Auntie, I'm going to be floating.
Auntie, I never got Shaman.
Auntie, never got Shaman. You got Shaman. Ah, you're the for the Benjamin, you know, you're the bro. Now, you be do a Shaman, so dia. Now, a Shaman for Mumba home. Because you didn't catch us say HD plus the mania Utopia. And no more behaving in a high definition and a worship and to TV a very crystal clear. Now all share pictures, you know, a dear top from Quampa, drop a quampo top from a Ubu say Adiano and a top from now ye the HD plus in Fideni Nano, ye the EB Eba Yamepa and Navy or a Shima Honum TV are bringing HD plus one more Edumedian Nano, ye Nina Ebro. Our Ashama ye the huge discounts and ye the ebro or month for and so a month for more Ashama and person will hit TV more shenam who pictures no clear now ocean moving as action ye fire to say the Ukraine a year no more to person who ejana and one is when you HD plus a decoder no on our washing and Bomodian said and Nadia Minia Ubishiae ewo Ashaiman na ye din komonom na ye ton no makakra na ye di HD plus no na ye ton e di ama omanfo obetimi apose obetimi a record it na wahwe your favorite shows ni nyina no later on so football and apa obetimi apose obetimi a reverse obetimi a record it the HD plus gives you all these opportunities into no one more SCN kanchoma for nya say mumi enhia fili gani ewo Ashaiman na ye di ye ho enkomo no na ye ton enoma antinafie na ema of TV no enkoso na nya cheche na otihudi na ohwe to HD plus back and pay at a highly discounted price ewo eye Ashaiman enne awie Hantek for say and country man for say look you identity most of the times you hear a lot about forex trading you don't really know what it is you don't get it what they mean when you talk about forex trading no Hantek for identity so kokwa no de ebrewa you understand the workings of forex any trading no and also there are several platforms there was Play Store be it the Apple or Google Play Store or download there it supposedly teaches you how to trade but only Hantek for it in command one more identity pa and the mawa obesua senior you utilize it one more platform no a very easy user experience na a solid and obetimi utilize it at the actually amount for so na odi aye trading so no ewo honum enti identity and only more ND and command pay na one more entry or much more about foreign exchange a concepts no from ewo 0544 708888 and also oba ko yo mechira kwan ewo Noi Osikan Close, Ringway Estate, Accra, na onyomo edi enkomo Hantek Markets, trust, through a transparency. Enely atena minia and the Bomodiani team. No more switching between draws, nils, and goals. With few clicks, Atena gives you the chance to win cash prizes, smartphones, replica jerseys, match tickets, fuel coupons, and electrical appliances such as kettles, irons, fridges, microwaves, soundbars, and many more every week. All you need is 2 Ghana cedis on your Momo wallet on all networks, and you're good to go. Dial star 780 hash and follow the prompts to predict 5 jersey numbers of Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Accra Hearts of Oak. Get 3 out of these and you are a winner. For the grand prize at the end of the season, winners go home with a Toyota Aegis Saloon car or expense-paid trip to Dubai, 50 flat-screen TVs and many more. How cool is this? The draw for the Atena game is held every Monday. Atena game can be played every day as much as you can, so please do so. And Yenshan is only 18 years until India Goebi. Terms and conditions apply. And Yenanum Yenshan and so anapay na said Yahu Ebedoma na Yedi Yahu Adam. But on the Pemi Bisa said, or member of parliament, and ye be unim the social media handler na unim. Why engaging on social media? Da? When engaging no responding, and I want to respond. When engaging no feedback or the man na positive. Now one can answer with him, is social media a good platform if you say you can have a conversation with your member of parliament and seeing there most of the times I'm about constituency anymore. Unless say be a parliamentary business anyhow until sometimes a weekend and I more constituency. No do constituency. Any part one more about dump mom person mushia MP no. Is social media the best platform and ka unyaya nanka woni wo MP edin komo na onne engage na. Ana for Raymond waye adwuma kakra wode aye list kakra ebrain social media Ghana the members of parliament omo ho ma enke hwe kwan senke hia enchirichiremu na yenti bibia se a eho ana ye de ani edi eche ni akwa kobisa na omo ede enchirichiremu ede amayen but mebisa anapai fati se anya bia no na MP e social media na no abombodi mpo se either se obe follow no ana se wono no ebedi enkomo na me de opani slide tete many ede na chi de me follow no me sending the message mom but me di chi many dinko but Fati, is it really the issue say is it much of an issue say or member of parliament are present with social media and as when you're present with social media
some in say social media carries a lot of weight. Social media gets a lot of results for people, and sometimes unim say a man for your mota eco constituencies, eco share members of parliament mostly party for mostly party for the ordinary members of the constituencies. Mostly they don't go to their MPs for any one-on-one discussions. Almost say if he assembly member awoho. And in the social media affords people the opportunity to be able to interact with MPs. I will send you MP DM. Say any na ekoso ewo constituency anymore. And I say na medwen ho ewo policies you guys are deliberating in parliament near there. Obetimi ready, obetimi taking note, obetimi taking action and as a step towards it. And it's easier, it's cut off the physical contact obia own sheda nimu wa send you DM and it's something you can look into. It's easier and better that way than say ebia ofa phone na wa friend on fa ushiano my busy me basis but we sending the message obetimi ready. And that said it doesn't mean say MP ko post bibi ewo ne Facebook and na Instagram and na Twitter now because you have access to MP via social media and na nsema ntwe yi na wakwa comment ewo ni poster seni ade healthy engagement eno ebeboa. And I think that time I woman say MP and you're interested in social media, there is a bit of a problem there.
Really?
Yes.
Me
Koshisheno.
Well, I don't see it as
Deputy Fisheries Minister.
MPs must, be on social media, and it's an avenue for their constituents to engage with them. Take some of the constituencies, Omo MPs, I represent you, Omo. Momo any young fan say be regional capitals anymore.
They say MP back on I share na ye at least ye hunu or TikTok or Jine. So at least ye hunu.
But I just have it's visible.
Me
I just have it's visible.
Or Facebook.
LinkedIn.
The people
or Facebook
who really have issues, who want to engage with their members of parliament, are they on social media? The people who really have questions,
yes.
The farmers who are looking for avenues to meet with their MC to tell them how they feel that help must come in terms of their expansion of their subsistence farming they may be doing. Are they on social media? In this day and age, where we have had several members of parliament come to issue disclaimers, say, one more counter, social media, scammers any issue. And so they come to say, I am not on social media. Those who are there to say, so this is a duplicate account, and so it's not me. I have seen countless occasions where Samuel Kujata Blakwa, Honorable Jifago Machi, and others have issued disclaimers, say, a counter seemingly is theirs, no. Mehusamaya Wada Mofisha MPDA. What even shows that the Mohuna MP? What even shows that the Moshe MP and a more Mubedi? And so for me, I don't think that it should be an issue, say, be a member of parliament, be any either Twitter or Facebook, and we should be worried or we should be concerned about it. Most important is that we should be asking ourselves, say, what avenues are there for members of parliament to engage with their constituents on one-on-one basis if the need arises? Most of the times, MPs almost create poster. What post do they make? They are either anti-government positions on issues at our parliament. Or so a member of parliament or on the government side, the post are making a position in favor of a government business about or post and no interaction, no engagement or baby. So for me,
I saying that in this day and age, it's your friend is I was talking about social media, not more engaging. We are not saying it's on brand on baby account keke. Yes, so that or social media.
Ombra for the MP ne life ni nyina no. Okọ adwuma no pa, time no free adwuma. Omo kwatena parliament. Sometimes they are there till night.
Take you to post something on social media. And bra will speech now culture. How many minutes?
No, my poor adwuma.
No, how many minutes?
No, my poor adwuma. It took me minutes.
Please.
To sit down and write that. It took me minutes. Members of parliament there nyina no omo etina we am so copy. Omo tina parliament party from morning sometimes late into the night. How are you expecting this member of parliament to come and sit on social media and be posting? By the way, how many of their constituents are there?
Please, that one, don't say it. All of them
it is not an issue for me if my MP is not on social media. It is not an issue for me. It is at all.
Me MP or social media.
What could follow no?
There be me follow no.
I didn't see that follow no.
Me MP no send a upon whom on social media no. Or a talk of town. Or talk of town. Sarah Adjoa Safo. MP.
On your MP
or TikTok.
TikTok.
Or TikTok. Or some Facebook. Or be a Joyati. Also, Asaba could do no. I didn't send be pre by Emma. I see Uncle MP or TikTok. It's social media no one a good side and then a bad side. And I'm sure say for an MP like Adjoa Safo no, in an attempt to, loosen up kakra or get tension kakra for the hoso no. I didn't send be and a brain no. or better nature, I can say, okay, TikTok, no one supio. But other media we do a constituency, no, so no. Me, and Facebook na me call yanka. My name say, wabibi office ama NHIS. I think, yeah, NHIS. Ewo kwa binya honum. Enti, ewo ne plus and any minuses. And for most parts, no, open information be on Jumedia MPs media. I think that will come up so some of them try to give updates on the Omoye in the course of the week, in the course of the day. Projects are more commissioner projects are Omunidi our constituencies. No, I think that to a certain extent it helps. So I just have focused on Twitter and TikTok now. Almost every Ghanaian is talking about it, despite the fact that every Ghanaian knows TikTok. No, so I mean that's the same way when they do good things. No, spread this because of for presence or social other platforms. I just I mean. I think if Omodi Omohu Ejima Ebeboa, Obi to say Samuel Okuja to Ablakwa, his advocacy on president travels Niamano. And yet Facebook no call out these issues no good yanka. It won't have come to the fore, say, Oman Penny to Kwaya, there's a possibility, say, this is how much Ghana may be paying for the flights, no pay though it's not been confirmed, no. It gives a certain, it gives a rough idea. Based on Nkofona on your mood dealing, and most of those rentals, no, rates in the ho. Sami Sianopa, Ombekacho. So if you want to charter for this, Ninina, but Sami Okuja to Ablaka went a certain extent. He tried to, make sense out of whatever was going on. It became information. A lot of Ghanaians fed on, politicians feed on in their minds. It's useful too if the MPs feel and the idea. Omo person omo de ka omo leadership no se ne be boa. So I think that they should embrace it. Even Mayor Accra Mayor, no, not Accra Mayor, Minister, no, Mr. Henry Kote. Yeah, Honorable Henry Kote. He also has a social media, a Facebook account. Yeah, automatic updates along the line in or the Inchichemuso ba. If there are stories, I be a Kotiana now. I mean, I think that all in all, no. It's not bad. It's not a bad tool to use. But if the MP doesn't want to use it, I mean, why? It shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, it shouldn't be an issue.
Yane Stephen Forson in Nkomo IT expect na NG Navine Kakra because yen fan say obo wo MP na searching you would have seen more than 3 or 4 pages. Ninyina supposedly is supposed to be that member of parliament.
But omo digital experts in here, especially when it comes to social media, no. How easy or difficult is it to get an MP verified on social media?
Well, you be this sound come no eso. Na yene mini ending come na me bisa say social media and any members of parliament no adwuma wo mo and wo mo constituents almost serve you more. Should it be a tool that they must be busily on and utilizing now? Stephen Akwaba.
Good morning. It's on with Tiefonia.
Yo, Steve, should members of parliament be on social media doing the advocacy and telling their stories to their constituents?
Exactly. It has become crucial. They should be on social media because it is the order of the day. Whether you were born in the days of computer or not, that's what we have now. And social media is playing a lot of role in current politics in Ghana and around the world. Even in the huge countries, America and the rest, social media is now becoming part of the determining factors of politics, of modern politics. So our politicians, I will encourage them to be on social media. A couple of our MPs are on social media, doing very well. So if you ask around which MP is doing very well, I don't go to Fantiakwa, I don't go to Bupungu Yonyo, I don't go there. We just on social media. A majority of people will tell you that Honorable Ablakwa is doing a lot of work in his constituency. Why? Because we know. Why? Because it's on social media. Why? Because we see. You understand? And so it appears some of the MPs don't work because we don't know what they do. But right now, due to social media, you have the opportunity as an MP to tell not just your constituents, but the world, that you are working. And so it's crucial for MPs to be on social media.
Well, they might be there to showcase what they have done to a sudden followership. But the constituents who are looking for opportunities to engage with that MP, one more social media.
You see, social media has a rippling effect. You might think, oh, my constituents are not on social media. But some of your constituents are on social media, and some of the relatives of those constituents are also on social media. During the election, we have something called bandwagoning. You see, if you publicize what you do in your constituency on social media, and then a greater part or a larger majority or a certain good number of your constituents see what you do, it is these same people who have to even talk to the rest of the people about what you have done. You understand? So it becomes easier for people to even know what you are doing. It's easier that way than you yourself going around during election time to tell people that I did this here and I did that there. So the matter of whether your constituents are on social media or not, right now we have greater percentage of Ghanaians are on social media, are using smartphones. Are using smartphones. Look, the fastest way to get information now is no longer the traditional media. It is on social media. Anytime you hear someone is dead, the first thing you do is go to Facebook and go and check whether it's true. If you see a lot of RIP, which means it is what? It's true. So we can't downplay the importance of how fast social media has gotten into our people now. Now, if you want to know what's happening in the world, in Ghana, in Africa, all you have to do is go to Twitter and go and check the Twitter trends. You know what people are talking about. Then you just follow the trends. Due to social media, we sit here and we know even the people in the village call and they are finding out what's happening in Russia. Why? Because they are on social media. They see what's happening in Ukraine. So it is not true. You see, gone are the days where we used to think that most Ghanaians are not computer literate, most Ghanaians are not IT savvy, most Ghanaians are not interested in technology. But now people are. Our children are. In fact, all what our children know now is social media and computers and internet and online. And that phase where people didn't really, even our parents, our mothers, our grandparents are now even on social media, checking out what's going on. So we cannot downplay the huge impact of social media now.
In fact, my last question, and that has to do with the issue of authenticating. Say, anyebia nipa na one na interact say wo MP no, wo MP na. Scammers use the identities of MPs and soliciting for funds and all. How do you know say wo MP now who follow no MP?
Okay, so I wish I could have the opportunity to talk to educate our MPs, and I'm sure they are listening today. You see, if you are an MP, you are a public figure, and therefore your account, it is important for you to claim it and then verify it. You understand? So as a public figure, as an MP, you have to now let the social media platform, whether Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or any of the platforms they're using, it is important you need to alert them for them to know who you are. And once they know who you are as an MP, your account will be verified. The verification sign on each account is what allows people to know that, okay, this is the authentic account we are dealing with.
Okay.
So MPs should take that very, very serious. Last time, just recent time, you get a lot of people sending you requests, I am honorable this. For me, what I do, I'll just go back and go and check the background of the person, do a bit of research and all that before I accept such friendship. But it is important for MPs or even their assistants to make sure that their accounts are verified. And it's not that difficult for an MP to get his or her account verified by any of these social media platforms.
All right. Minia, yadi yankomo twhwe no esi hanu mi say no. Now, my final one, say if it is not that difficult, say your MPs never verify that. Then I didn't see now one more and verify one more.
I think most of them do not even understand it. I think most of them do not even know how easy it is for them as MPs to get themselves verified. All you have to do is to contact the platform managers, write to them officially, let them know who you are. Go online. There's a place you can fill the form, and then give a little write-up who you are. You're a member of parliament, and therefore you want your account verified so that people will not impersonate you to cause malice in society. And once they see the importance, people get rejected when they apply for such things because they don't provide enough evidence to ascertain the claim of who they are. But once you're a member of parliament, it can be verified. You can give links, online links that talk about you and which MP is not talked about in Ghana here. At least even the election results was published. Once you can provide such links to the various social media platforms, you will be verified. It's actually in the interest of the platforms to get you verified so that their platform becomes authentic.
Opani, you better ask pay say Ojembe now ni yedi enkomo.
And that's saying no, me that's
Yo, Minia Steven. Yo, Minia Steven and an pay what they kakra ebre efa member of parliament for one more enkomodidi an pay ye di no hom. Me be sound so we tie na hwe no. Obetimi no comment na abre say do you follow your member of parliament on social media? How meaningful has been that following you know of your friends and member of parliament, you know? Send a message unya response na and normal one more posti one more social media status, no? Is it relevant to a year as a constituent what in the constituency na ye bisa questions when you know or answers and answer all questions bisa me pacho wait me the fire WhatsApp line 02022 02022222067 na onso ode kakra e dia brain intino otiemia na me bisa question number na is 0244885140 and 0549508687 so follow na mami hu ne post away no anyebia no does it benefit you? Do you find it relevant? What experiences with a member of parliament? I would like to hear them. And to offer me 0244885140 and 0549 508687 na onsusuno experience with your member of parliament on a social media no na one member say Facebook, say Twitter, say Instagram no my hu anapay na yenyina no yendi enkomo whether your MP's presence on social media no serves any purpose for you. Well, that's why making contact with your MP. Did the MP respond to a year or contact now? Yeah, no. Share your experience with me. I will be glad to hear from you this morning. 0244885140. Offer number we are. You know, and 0549 508687. Menkai some comment about through. Now I think that Ramon, were you on the floor and I interrupted you to go? You were not. Minimum.
Now, Adam Smith.
I think so.
Oh, Mr. Bongo.
Okay. I'm so. I think so. Because he's quite loud. I think so. Social media. Yeah, Isaac Adungo, a friend says social media. He is. He's on social media. Yes, he is. Well, and your phone lines in the active. Offer you know ebedi and command pay. But my main Kai just a few comments about on our Facebook wall. Emfa Emma Omanfo na yentwaso ni nkomo. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right. Oniano and to me engineer Homani so but Ofra, I'll be glad to speak to you. 0244885140 na menu edi nkomo anope. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Master Sam.
Yes, sir, Chief.
Master Dankaso Otame.
Yenko.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
I don't know MP and call DC. Because me imagine with them say MP for no more question mramai. And bia no munya ko e fa akra bia no mu dia be ye kuntujuma o ye manten. Say almost pass me MP me ni Facebook book die. And social media so me phone aka no ye call nkwa na me die. Nti no so me call Facebook so me hu me MP o ho no. Me MP ha o kun se. Madam Obotu. Now so besides I don't know MP anko ya DC because this year omuna mo ya aban na mo sini ya work so na mantema ya wo muna wo se pontu dwuma because so omuna wo se omutimi eda na dikese ma ye hu se dwuma okoso o mantem MP de extreme aju akra that's it.
All right, it's a legitimate question to ask, and you know, I agree with you. Why not the MCE or the DCE, but the MP? But well, Minya, maybe another time when we ask the same question, say, are you following your MCE or your DCE on social media? And then you may ask the questions you are asking. But me kind a comment, you know, Ebia, Mike McIntyre say, please take. Oh, Raymond, also take off the face diaper that you people are wearing, the nose mask, and or say, one teacher says, "We saw a nose mask." Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yo, you're from Alex Kokutan President Suma, Ablukma West.
Alex Machenko.
Yo, so social media, and you'll be on the call. Nipa population of 50 friends saying 5% alcohol. And she said, Bibina, first in social media, and now, Omokona, who you call Twitter around there, and you'll be on the call. And see, a man that would Germany and you're crying, Kakra, that be cry, alcohol that. And she said, Honor, and there, and there, oh, my feeling. And she, oh, dear. Influencer, Madam say.
Medos and the place so friend about Jimmy no so we say and so if we Samuel Abedu or say this is not the first time. I don't know what you're speaking to, but I think that maybe it would have been something we discussed. Good morning, dear host. Okay, hello, good morning. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Daniel from Ashoma Estate.
Daniel Machenko.
Pacho Yedinyankupon Esre Abanwe. Ma omo maye reasons dia say yen to me evacuate Ghanaian citizens and students from Ukraine. Omo nye de beye bia wonyame game. So by road cra and ombe move omo evacuate omo by road to the nearest Switzerland or their countries are able to mean or market any more good ties. Even if any permanent shelter cry, na say tent cry no mubedem wo no munya sundua omumbo modia no munya sadia. Alright, so money nyame because nipa kwa hu hia pa.
But those are the place of Charity Abena Morrison also good morning everyone. Good morning to you, Charity. Abbas Gideon Go Abbas, say good morning. Good morning to you as well, Abbas. Positive Change Medina. I say Akufado's government cannot provide textbooks for SHS students. Same cannot provide even chalk for basic schools, and yet to. Hello, good morning.
Morning, me and the people want to say.
Nyamiado, you're home bachelor as well.
About the idea.
Yo.
So, now you and I'm okay. Social media, you see again. Now, you probably do say now, he says, name social media, name say, and I am kind of inclined to march it up for the cake goes across the dino. Ghana, you could have seen both a crack. True. Into the social media, whatever. Other than MC and MP, who pass was now fret. Or hearing, but there will not church, no baby areas. Social media, the Facebook, me, I know that minimum cry, minimum. Into because of social media, Kohasena, media, I just a TV show. They have 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock news, and I'm sure TV show. It is all we have, everyone done an outcry of social media. And in a minute, because yeah, you take your meeting, your money, you take a crown on your who's a social media where you're quite left and I am correct. And I have to pay some growth for some Mazu, young growth country. Can you see? That's what we want to better as you talk about. Yeah, you know, because the mother is meant to be on school. But in your garden, it's the two about whatever it is, you talk about it, I'll be trading. Now, my social media, I'm social media.
All right, you better open in. Say final comment on the pay was say we also need e-levy because it will make the Black Stars win the World Cup. And also will be a commenter what they about on the pay. So we check your time now. Let's say Emre as to say you better near home na yeba na yedi enkomo ye nkomo hwambi yede ebre omanfo anopai enti do kindly stay with us wabra yedi sa enkomo we say our happy morning show eso yeda ne ho aba.
After 3 years in Achimota School in 1997, we knew our lives would never be the same. We had arrived from north and south to the eastern and western compounds of the Grey City. We entered as children and left as adults, taught to change the world as pacesetters in the worlds of business, technology, medicine, academia, law, and more. As our 25th anniversary approaches, it's our turn to give back to Achimota Mother Ours. From hosting the Torchlight Procession and Bonfire Night to organizing the Speech and Prize-Giving Day, we owe a duty to our alma mater. But above all, through your contributions, we can leave a legacy to last generations with our flagship project. As we build the infrastructure to connect the whole school to the internet, we will catapult teaching and learning in Achimota School into the 21st century.
This legacy project will really benefit the student over the next 2 decades because ICT has come to stay, and Google Classroom and so far as the use of internet and modern facilities are concerned, it will really improve on their teaching and learning. That will be so good for the academic work.
From Gambaga to Accra, from Riasa to Kita, we are brothers and our mother is a school.
Join us on our journey as we continue to be living water to a thirsty land. Contribute as we give back to Achimota School. Let's make OAA 1997's 25th anniversary one to remember. Motown connects.
Motown connects.
Motown connects.
Motown connects.
Motown connects.
Motown connects. Achimota.
And the Akoras are here. Motown Connect. We are here in the studio to have a conversation. I say they, but one person is sitting beside me. The others are providing moral support. Fafa, wherever you are, my HR, good morning to you. As you know, today is Friday. It will happen. So be calm. Be steady. I will sort you out. Only problem. But you didn't come out now. So we share a Jumedia. Now your boy at the mouth phone. I know so radio phone there. You really didn't see what we were playing, but you would have heard what the subject matter was all about. Well, I'm joined in the studio by Akora Kwame Nkrumah Boatio. He's a former OAA 97 president and a pay Meneno AD Nkrumah. Akwaba.
Bidas Seminia.
Na Achimota na o ka brofo sa no. O ka trees sa no. Cambodia brofo are issues kontomre.
Yetininia champions.
Oh, nice. But it's good to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
So most of the times I hear Akora, most of the times I hear OAA. What does it mean?
OAA no standing for Old Achimotan Association.
Okay.
Now, sir, we share the constitution of the Old Achimotan Association, amended version of 27th November 2016. So we share Article 3, Clause 1. Almost a full membership of the OA. Obia wire recognized course of learning at Achimota Senior High School. Anybody who attended a recognized course of learning there at any point in time is an old student of Achimota Secondary School.
Okay. So the OAA is Old
Achimota
Association. Okay, but the Accra, what does the Accra mean?
Accra is just the nickname for Obia Wako Achimota School. Okay. And I have to clarify, say, sometimes Kofoka Akras, but it is always Accra. The singular, any plural in here.
Accra.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Well, I am happy for the conversation, but you are here as a former president representing Accra 97.
Yes.
And I know, sir, more speech and prize giving day, there's lots that line up, but it's 97-year group that's spearheading this one, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And the ending come any 97-year group, no plans are more outlined for this year.
According to your association, year group BR already 25 years since they left school, has to host a number of programs and also launch what you call a legacy project.
Okay.
Yeah, December 1997. Until this year, 2022, is our 25th year. And the anniversary celebrations span about 16 months. And the anniversary celebrations started last year, July. And it starts with a get-together by the OAA 97 North America branch.
Okay.
In Tienyamunum Accra, Omo America, last year, July, Independence Day, Omo hosted get-together. But because of COVID, Omo into me, 3rd July, they did it after, where they invite other Accras. And that launches our anniversary celebrations. After that, over March of the 25th year, which is this year, we host a number of programs, starting on the 24th of March 2022, which is a Thursday.
Okay.
And on that day, we'll launch what you call a legacy project. Legacy project is giving back to your school. So it can be any project that will have a positive impact on the school or the students. We'll be launching ours on 24th in the morning.
Okay.
And then that evening, we'll be having what you call an enhanced dinner with the students and teachers, numbering more than 4,000. So instead of the normal dining hall food, maybe back home. So normally, somebody maybe Kenke and Fisher. That night, you have some fried rice, some yogurt, some fruits, some drinks, I mean, just to enjoy. That will be on Thursday night. And then on Friday, we will have what you call the bonfire night. The bonfire night will have torches with fire. We walk around the schools. Achimota school is a hot super.
Yeah.
So we walk around the school. But on the morning of that bonfire night, we will have a cadet parade in the morning.
Okay.
We'll have a cadet parade in the morning, and in the afternoon we have the Founders Day celebration.
Okay.
And we climax it with the Thanksgiving service on Sunday, March 26th, after which we will have lunch with them. The 1972-year group, almost 50th anniversary. So they will host us for the Founders Day. We will host them for the bonfire nights, and then we will meet together after the church service. And the last activity should be in November. Nancy, because of COVID, you cannot really, but it's supposed to be November of this year, which is a speech day.
All right. Now, over the years, I've been seeing your bonfire activities. What's the significance?
Well, the bonfire activity, it is just a way of bringing the old Achimotans together, to break bread together, to walk around the school and reminisce on what the school stands for and what we have shared as students who have passed through the school in the past.
So, 97-year group project, what's the focus?
Your project, first of all, the theme for our anniversary celebration is making an Achimota an ICT Center of Excellence.
Okay.
Now, we share Emra even before COVID came, no, if you were not computer literate, want to make page man. I mean, even before computers, by say, page man now, we see you actual proficient in Microsoft Excel, even though you may not even know anything about Microsoft, it has always been important. But now the reality say, so we need computer money idea, you are at a disadvantage. Now COVID so we cannot have lessons as it used to be. So we decided as a year group that we have to look at what is really important for the era that we are in. So the school gave us a number of projects to select from. And we also proposed some to the school. And in the end, we agreed on, under the able leadership of our national president, Professor Aiti, and also our local president, Dr. Papani Male Aji, and our executives. We agreed on this ICT project. We'll be laying what you call 48 core cables around the whole school to provide high-speed internet. Normally, you need about 2 or 3 core cables for effective internet, but you lay 48 core cables. So it's going to be so strong that, according to our IT experts, it should be able to power apparently maybe even the whole of a city like maybe Ouagadougou, according to our IT experts. So it's going to be high-speed internet combined with registering each of the 4,000 plus students onto the Google Classrooms platform. So every single Achimota student will have a dedicated email address. You have your lessons stored in your email. You have access to internet in your boarding house. And you have what you call electronic boards. Those is your whiteboards.
Yeah.
But these electronic boards at various places in the school and the classrooms are by using this high-speed internet and the resources that the Google Classrooms project
this would be a very expensive project.
Yes.
How are you funding this? How are you going to fund this?
We started our fundraising in 2015 through our former president, who you already mentioned, Fafak Beho. That is when we started collecting our dues. Because we believe Achimota for see a pace setters, then we have to lead by example. And along the line also, we have reached out to various people, because education there, when you invest in it, whether it is your school or not, it will come back to benefit you. So we reached out to both Akores, non-Akores. We dug into our pockets as OA97 members ourselves, our dues now. We embarked on massive fundraising. The total budget for the whole 25th anniversary celebration, which is still rising, the total budget was approximately 890,000 Ghana cedis. And as at a couple of days ago, we've been able to raise about 56% of it, and people are still donating. So that is how we are raising the funds.
All right, so we are ending in just a minute. If there are folks that are listening and may be interested in supporting this brilliant idea, is there a number or any communication link established so that they can join you guys in achieving this?
Yes. So, Momo number is 0242 720 272, and your account number will EcoBank, which I believe is on the screen. 144 100 86 76 54. And we know that you have an international reach, so those watching outside Ghana, the Europe account is based in the UK. Barclays Bank, account number 433-90-640. Old Achimotan, the account is Old Achimotan Association, 1997 year group. And those based in America who would also want to donate, no, it is Chase Bank, account name OA97 North America, account number 795185276. And those who want to follow us, we have a YouTube page, OAA97, very simple and short, that you can follow our activities. And we hope everyone listening who has a time will join us as we start the celebration on the 24th of March.
All right, Kwame, we would have to end it here, but a final comment from you and then we can proceed.
My final comment, as I said in the documentary, is that this is something OA97 is doing for Achimota School, and I would encourage all old students everywhere to give back to their school, because education is a bedrock of the development of every nation. Go back to your school, no matter how deprived it is, and make sure that you bring the students there up to current international standards now. Thank you.
Kwame, I thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much, Sammy.
Kwame Nkrumah Boatio, a former president, Akura OA97, joining me on the Edin Komo Efa Womo programs are one outlining for a year Womuji Media Umbidini. Yet was what na ye akaye Sima Edu na Simaduno. Se utai etie na se ohwe dwumede ya oti sedanya meka eye grass to grace dwumede ye ewo ETV anapai Nyankopon adom prophetess Lady Audrey Mason wabeka mensa meneno edi enkomo efa eye grass to grace dwumede ya ewo ETV Ghana so na odi enchechemu edi ebro medical catch say ETV dey sisi ade so aye the new program and any ebro man for but ubesua ye. Sometimes there are stories you see on social media, it's unbelievable, but well already at 200, but you need to understand how people who have made it, the processes they had to go through, and some of bedroom pempen some bedroom sincere genuine conversations, no flattery, no hype, but as it is told. Yama aye prophetess Akwaba Ember Jumedi Nafi no yending komo. Prophetess, good morning.
Good morning.
Na anapeno mo mtise.
Boko.
Ede ase. Odra sin die me fe.
Medase.
Fine.
Also so shirt na fe pa.
Medase pi. Se twi ni ya na yemfa
nya brofo na twi ni ba na.
Yemfa mix na kakra ho. Yo, ene wo mama a chance there na yensa ngum. So, let's talk a bit about the project.
The project, okay.
Grass to Grace.
So Grass to Grace is a faith-based inspirational show that is to uplift and guide somebody so that they can be blessed.
The concept, the idea, where did it emanate from?
The concept and idea, myself, I've been in ministry for 17 years since I was ordained. I've had struggles in life, both locally and internationally. And I took it so hard in the beginning. But God made me understood that life is a journey, it's a process. And so you have to go through it. But it's so difficult for us as, you know, people to really understand the process that we're going through. So what happens with Grass to Grace is that you have men and women that have gone through the process and have become somebody, or they are in the process of even doing something greater. They share their story to enrich people, to empower them, to guide them, to educate them so that they can embrace what life is about. So
is it that you speak to men of faith, or it's also engaging men or women from the secular world but who would have achieved something in life?
It's not only men of faith, men and women of faith, it's everyone that the Lord really sends our way. If they have made an impact or they have a story, we want to share it because we want it to relate to anyone. You don't have to be, you know, a pastor or somebody in the church to really benefit from the show. So would I be right to say this is a motivational show? You can say that. It's inspirational. You can also say that it's a motivational show. All right. So for somebody who, let's say it's not a Christian, does this show target that individual as well in terms of the benefits the person would get from the show? Yes, this show targets everyone. We are all God's creation. It's just that people choose to worship in a different way. So this show will motivate you because someone will relate to what you are going through. And that way it can help you to move forward.
So what time does it air on ETV?
It airs on ETV every Sunday evening at 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., which is 1:30 to 2:30 for those that are in, the EST time. And
what's been the experience, The
experience has been great. I mean, people are saying they are empowered, they are educated, because they are seeing these men and women that have come so far to a point. And everybody thinks that they just got there. But once they know they went through a process with their challenges, their struggles, and in it all, there's a breakthrough. It's more like a light at the tunnel. It gives them that sense, for them to know that, you know what, I can also make it. It is not too late for me.
Well, what sets Grass to Grace apart? Because there are several motivational shows in the system. But what sets you apart in terms of the content of your show? What sets this show apart is that myself, I have a story. So I understand the needs of the people. And most importantly, we are not scripting questions to force that person to say something. We allow them to really tell their story the way it is, the truth, so that somebody also can really understand that what I'm going through right now is something that someone have gone through. So that is the difference. Other motivational shows, is targeted for a certain thing, and they have to really ask certain questions that people want to hear. But we want people to hear what the person has really gone through. That is the difference. The final one, which is a little bit tricky there, is the sincerity of the story told by guests on such shows. How do you vet the sincerity of the experiences of people told on the show, so as we wouldn't have a situation where I don't know if you follow social media that much, when somebody says with 3 Ghana cedis, and people make a mockery of it because in their minds, why would you say this? So the authenticity of the stories shared, how do you vet that? Well, we make sure that before somebody comes to the show, we really look at their background and really understand who they are, knowing the genuineness of that person, because we don't want to come out there and portray something to someone that is not. So their purpose of coming to the show is to really be a blessing to somebody. So we make sure that if we're bringing a guest, that guest we have really monitored, gone through their life story, and make sure that we're bringing the right person. Well, I know that being on TV it's not kids play, and that's what it requires some monetary commitment. In that respect, if there's a viewer, there's a listener who is listening to us on radio, and the person is interested in supporting this project, what's the process? Well, certainly, they can support the project. You can email us. You can also go to our social media page and inbox us. And then, we will guide you in how you can sponsor the show. Of course, it always takes something to put a show on. All right, so social media, give us a sense. The social media, we want you to go to Kapim Ghana, Kapim TV Ghana. You can also go to Audrey Mason, MAISON, and you can inbox us or email us. All right. In ending our conversation, because we have just 2 minutes, what would be your final words to the viewer and the listener out there? My final words to the viewer or the listener that is out there: I need you to know that life is a journey. But except if you are enlightened, you are enriched, and you are educated about what you are doing, you can't be empowered. And when you're not empowered, you can't embrace who you are. God knows who you are. He has a purpose for you. What you're going through right now may look as if it's difficult and it's not possible. But as you watch from Grass to Grace, you come to know that even though you may be in your grass right now, the person that you are watching, they were also in that position. But as they went through those journeys and those challenges, they also learned something. And that way they were able to embrace and push forward. So my words to you today: you can't give up. Just press on. Well, that's just a hint of what you'd be getting on Sunday, 6:30, if only you'd make a date, because we all at some point in time need somebody to walk us through the process of how they got to where they are today. I remember I chanced upon someone's status yesterday, and the person made the point that, you'd read his or her status and you read only good stuff. But what you have no idea about is the state in which he or she was at the time that, the person was making that post. And so there are things we take for granted. We look at the outside.
Yes.
The inside is a completely different ballgame.
It sure is.
And so we'll be with you on Sunday
to
watch the show, and we're hoping and praying that it grows and blossoms and you touch lives.
We look forward to that. So stay tuned and please share and let somebody know about the show.
We'll do just that.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for joining us as well this morning.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so on that note, I will thank you for being a part of the show this morning. We started 5:30, and it's tonight we hand you over to the sports crew on Happy 98.9 FM, and then on ETV, beautiful telenovela for you this morning. But I'll thank Prophetess Lady Audrey Mason for joining me. Grass to Grace, Sunday, 6:30 p.m. Don't miss out. So much to learn.